Okay, so we're live now. Uh, I had a lot of resources on the sidebar, but I had to restart the PC and all that, so it disappeared. But we will still get somewhere with this. First off, I've had many such like conversations in the past, but there has been no implementation. So this video is going to focus more on implementation. I'll be giving you just giving you an overview of what I've done in terms of building within the last few weeks. Perhaps it will inspire you to implement. So many times that's what's lacking. You have all the information, but there's no execution. There is no implementation. So can you implement going forward? Where are we going to be at in terms of building 3 weeks after this conversation? That's what's utmost. Okay, so for a start, I will show you some of the tools you use already. I'm sure I wish this was conversational, so if you can unmute your mic, please do. So ChatGPT, we're talking vibe coding now, things you can do with AI in terms of building. So I'll cover so many things you can do with AI, same tools that you already have and you use regularly. I don't know if John uses ChatGPT actively. How about Uncle Uche? Do you use ChatGPT yet? Okay.
I think they will need to unmute before speaking. You can unmute yourself when you'd like to speak.
Let me see. Is it from my end? No.
Yes, you can unmute someone,
I don't think so. I've clicked on it. It's not.
but
I
now it
don't know.
shows that he's unmuted.
Unmuted. Okay. Uncle Uche, how are you doing?
I'm good. And can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. I wanted it to be conversational. That's why, I mean, let me mute. Yes, to be conversational so that, there is essence to this, there is evidence that you are following and all that. So I want to ask, I would assume that you use ChatGPT.
Yes, I do. I use ChatGPT very well, almost in all things I do online. ChatGPT is very helpful to me.
Okay. How about what other AI tools do you use?
I use a lot of them. Those that can generate audios, text to text to all, or the text to audio, text to video. I use some of them,
Okay,
especially
which one
the
which
free
one
one.
which one do you use for text to video?
Currently, I use Grok now.
Okay, okay,
Grok
okay.
is good. Yeah.
Okay, have you explored yet, ChatGPT for building stuff, maybe like building an app or automating
No, I've
stuff?
no, I haven't done that.
Okay, or managing your browser.
No.
Okay. So anyway, that's the subject of this part of the conversation. Quickly, I'll ask Yaki the same question. Have you explored ChatGPT to those effects? Yaki. Okay.
Sorry, what did you ask?
I was asking that I'm sure you use ChatGPT. Have you explored it towards building apps, towards automating events, or managing your browser?
I haven't actually. I think yeah, I use it frequently, but I think the last time I used it was when I built during union build. I think I built a website where people can check their position in
Please check if your
I
mother
mean
is at the gate.
Okay.
when Keito was
Okay.
still in.
Okay, so did you deploy the resulting website? Did it go live on a URL?
Yeah, yeah. I now used the code, and I uploaded on Vessel.
Okay, okay. That means you're a bit advanced, which is great. Anyway, the relevance of this part of the conversation is, many times we don't exhaust our resources. We use it every day, but we are not adventurous in our use of these tools. We are not unconventional. So we don't explore them to the fullest. So many times that's where the answer lies, in going back to these tools and exploring them to the fullest. So I'm not going to dwell too much on ChatGPT, but I'll just show you some basics of what ChatGPT can do, beyond the basics. Okay, so first off, uh, where possible, to pay for stuff, it's relevant, especially when you're dealing with AI. If you're not paying, you would be using lower models in terms, with lower capabilities, basically. So you would know very quickly if you, let's say you upgrade to this model 5.2, for example. It's slightly, it's very cheap. I can't remember the price, but this is like a very cheap model. But very instantly you will see the difference in terms of thinking capacity, deep search. So these different AI models, they have different capacities. Some can deep search real-time information on your inquiry. Others are pre-trained on old information. So you'd be at a setback if you were on, lower models of AI. So part of venturing into AI proper is being able to afford a payment. But we will talk about another relevant aspect of this conversation, which is improvisation. Many times, okay, when there is a $10 barrier, we give up. While indeed there are opportunities to avail of those stuff without payment if you only improvise. So for example, is the model open source, such that you can host it locally and run it without payment, stuff like that. Anyway, we'll talk about that later on. So for chat gpt, you can explore it more if you go to apps, or you click on the plus button and explore all this. So deep search, deep research, you will see here it says 5 left, more available until March 9th. So it's giving some, uh, even though I'm not on the full upgrade, but it's given me some deep search opportunities, 5 of them. There's shopping research, there's thinking. So let's say you want to build a project, you know, you may go into a planning phase where you write out the documentation of the project. Thinking may come in handy there. Okay, then let's look at more. So there's also web search. So it's possible to, you know, adjust or modify this portal for specific things. So web search means it will be able to explore the internet real time. But if you go to explore apps, then you will see that you can integrate apps, all the, vast apps available. For example, Lovable is one of the apps I'll feature today, where you can get started with building your applications as a newbie. I'm a newbie, by the way. I'll tell you my own history. So Replit is another one that you can use to build applications, this time more complex applications. So again, they all have their own different capabilities. To be advanced in your capacities to build, you would need to explore these different LLMs to see their different capabilities. So very quickly with Lovable, you would realize, oh, don't worry, I'll open Lovable in a bit. You'll realize it's good with UI, UX, or user interfaces, more advanced, designs. With Replit, advanced logic. And again, that's where ChatGPT comes in. How explorative are you in your inquiries? So, for example, if I don't know if I can show some of my chat history, you'd see that I'm conscious about learning when it comes to, using ChatGPT. So, comparison Replit versus Lovable for complex logic, which is more viable, and it will quickly tell you, okay, Replit. Okay, so it's possible to incorporate many of these things into ChatGPT. Canva is there, for example. You want to design and all that. Now, You may not know it, but there's also Codex. Codex is basically you working on your GitHub directly. So you can, for example, I just created a repository on GitHub, and then I can manage it here, such that it's able to write to your GitHub and manage your code. So that's something that many cloud-oriented vibe coding portals lack. Don't worry, you will understand. You may not understand it now. Anyway, the relevance of this part of the conversation is to tell you to exhaust your resources. So, tap into yourself in your use of these platforms. As you have an excuse now to venture into the truest state of the world. How did this come about? Historically, how did programming start? For example, these are inquiries you can pose. There is no loss there, because learning is the ultimate earning. On the basis of this knowledge, you can consult, and that's an income uh, avenue. If you can consult on this subject, if someone asks you, oh, which is better for, I want to build this application now, it's this complex, which is better, Replit or Lovable? If someone asks you pricing, okay, I want to offer, I want to put paywall in my app, and I want to price it in such a way that I can pay for the service and then render an affordable service for the audience. So which model do I go for? DeepSeek or ChatGPT or OpenAI? For, let's say, you build an app that creates automatic posts for people on X. DeepSeek is the cheapest model compared to OpenAI, but they have different capabilities. So these are all the things you will quickly find out if you are consciously using ChatGPT. You have to eliminate the reasoning of money. I want money. It limits your horizon tangibly. Tackle learning first. Learning is the ultimate earning. So if you look at my chat, I've made many inquiries here, many inquiries. And same thing when I ventured into vibe coding. By the way, for your inspiration, let me show you an application that I just built. And all this within the span of 3 weeks. This application is very advanced. You can I consider this a $1 billion application. If you look at the features of this compared to a $1 billion application, they are on par. And this was built in 5 days. First time out on this. First time out on this. No, I just ventured into it, no knowledge. And that's how I learned Web3 as well. Web3, I have 7,000 videos on Web3, no reading white papers, just venture into it with intent. So I'll just quickly show you what it is about, just for your inspiration at this stage. Now, what is the inspiration here? That you can start this as a newbie in 5 days. And we're going back there to implementation, something with luck. We're supposed to leave this conversation now and implement within the next few weeks. We've built a $1 billion project. Now, how is this a $1 billion project? How does this put you on another level when it comes to gathering opportunities? We're talking Nigeria. For many of us here, we are in Nigeria. How does this give you leverage instantaneously? First off, you are already a CEO on the basis of this. If you are talking to a founder of a project, you'll be talking as a fellow founder. You would not be going to them, oh, sir, I'm looking for this airdrop, because you will be just another statistic. There are thousands of people vying on the same venture when it comes to the person's DM. But what if you went to them now? Oh, I have this application. What if I became your support arm? Let's assume that what your application offers is a support arm, for your, let's say, your own personal project. Oh, why don't you come and institute your community on my application? Then you show them the application. You're already at a 10x leverage in terms of conversation. If an opportunity comes on the basis of this, you'd be getting a million, compared to an airdrop of, say, $500. So let me just show you how tough, how complex this application is, and I'll tell you the history of how I got here, and you'd see the track of learning, understudy that took place, intent, self-sacrifice, my ambition to adjust the world. Everything is captured in this application, but you'll see the evolution of it because I will show you the applications that came about before this. But before that, let me just open the other applications that led here so that you'll get the whole picture. So airdrop C. Okay, so this is another application, lower complexity than Web3 wikis, built all this within the course of 3 weeks or less. Okay, just a moment. Okay, this is a food app for the Philippines. You know, uh, let me see if let me log in just so that you see that auth is working and all. Okay, so this is a food app for the Philippines. So you will see it's all test mode at the moment. Okay, then let me show you just a moment. Vibe code. Not to worry, all the tools that were used, you would cover it in this video. It's going to be an empowering video than you think, but there is need for context. Okay, so this one is just like a resource portal for those who want to get started with vibe coding, also built within this period I'm talking about. And then let me tell you how it all started. OS. Okay, so you'll see the difference in the interface, the user experience. I don't want to go back. I can show you where it all started, like the very base application I created. But let's just stop here. Let's just stop here. You'd very quickly see that there's a transition and evolution leading up to this, which is the most complex. But this is not the most complex application I'll build because my ambition is surpassing Google. Now, what is surpassing Google? And the entire plot to surpass Google is ready. So this is the portal that defines everything about surpassing Google. The main projects I'll build. I'm going to give this to Yaki and a few people that have asked me. I don't know. I don't know if Yaki has asked me what exactly surpassing Google is. So this is a landing page that explains it. Ulogs will be the main project. This is going to compete, surpass Google. So the popular content form that guards the internet today and Google are blogs and vlogs. I created Ulogs. So there's going to be Ulogs, there's going to be every anyone. I'll talk about this later. There is Macro Hard. Macro Hard is undertaking the niche of programming. There is an entire school that where the curriculum of study will be no books, and then there is Teardrops. Teardrops will be the reward distribution mechanism, and all the projects are guarded by a surpassing Google paradigm. And as part of the ambition to surpass Google, we need to unlock Web3, which is a very powerful knowledge base. And that's where this comes in. Okay, so this is where we are at now. Let me quickly show you this application and I'll give you an overview of how it runs, what it took to launch this application, and there will be more clarity. So this is dashboard. You will see that there is a point system. So based on your use of the application, you improve in reputation. Improving in reputation will enable you earn access to many of the features. There's also an XP system, experience points. It's all based on your use of the platform. In the future, let's say this application is not garnering adoption like I would want. Considering from the outset, I've introduced a reward distribution mechanism that distributes points for now. In the future, I just need to institute a token, and then this can go viral. I institute an affiliate program, and this can go viral. So the framework is already there. Now, what is Web3 Wikis? It's just a portal to unlock Web3. Everything about Web3. Support arm. Web3 doesn't have a support arm. So here you can ask questions. People will help you. Then it's also going to be a resource center for people to learn about Web3. So on this side, I'm going to create 1,000 videos in order from start to finish on the subject of Web3. I'm creating it already. It's very hard, but I'm already approaching 300 videos. But I have entrepreneurship in mind for the public. So you'll be able to create your own course, Web3 course, and make an income on the platform. So, and under the hood, that's also a growth mechanism for the platform, because if you're an entrepreneur on this platform, you have your course, you are bound to propagate it to your audience. Then, of course, the platform can decide to earn a revenue from that by taking a percentage of the revenue if you desire to. So there's glossary words about Web3. There is airdrops. Then there is projects. This is what I was talking about earlier. Say I want to partner with a project now. It's easier on the basis of this because I'll be going there as a fellow founder. Oh, why don't you? I'm now offering them a value proposition compared to going there with mouth or with, oh, I have this plan in my head. So that's why this conversation is powerful. If you have this product ready, a product ready, your the everything else is solved. If it's money you are looking for, it's instantaneously solved, and you will see why. I'm going to explain why later on. So there's leaderboard. We all know the impact of leaderboard, especially when it's gamified. When I was writing the documentation for this, it's a $1 billion app guarded by a surpassing Google paradigm. All those things that you see here is what guards this application. So the reason where this will come in handy is later on when you're about to build your app. Yes, you can easily go there and tell AI, "Oh, please build me this app." It's going to build you the app. But it's different when you are intentional about it. You have a documentation that explains the app, the algorithms of it to then the result is something like this. I'm going to experiment, not to worry, so please bear with me. We're going to do a lot. I'm also going to show you automation, very important, because in this day and age you want social media irrespective. That's because there's no way you can have a physical venture, for example, and reach the masses. You need social media. Now, if you can automate it, then even better. Personally, I take the manual route. I like to grind, but in this day and age, if you were able to automate it, as long as you incorporate your very essence, your identity, then it's welcome. So I'll be showing you that later on. And then you can offer this as a service. If you're looking for $500, it's extremely easy to get. And this video is going to cover that. But you need a value proposition. You need a ready product, because there are many people without something like this, an app. So if you are looking for an opportunity, you'll be competing with all those people compared to have if you had a product that is in existence. So let's proceed. The reason I'm showing you the features here is because I want to show you the intent in the documentation I wrote to build this. It's not just a basic prompt. So this is activity feed that captures all the activity that happens on the platform so that it can propagate it proactively to the audience. So they'll say, "Oh, this happened here, this happened there, someone needs help there." So this is an active feed. So you see, Uloggers TV answered a question I found so that it can connect the entire app and socially one person to the other. Invite Hub, people are always looking for scarce invites. How do we resolve that? On X, they are always exposed to scam. We create this for that. This one, gas portal, people are always looking for gas fee. How do you resolve that? We create a resolution for that. Create a course. You can create a course. Creator Hub is this. Then that builder to inspire people to build their application. It's available. Now, this is the front end that the user sees, but to make it even more, blissful, the experience for the builder, I created an admin dashboard. Now, you'd understand you would understand this better when I tell you how this all started, and I'll tell you in a bit. So this is the admin dashboard. This on here, I can manage everything that happens on the application. So for example, a comment comes in that I want to reject, I can reject it here. I want to upgrade you into admin status. I can upgrade you here. Just change your status to admin. So I don't have to go to the code to go and manage it on the code, complexifying things. So now this is extra grind because you have to build this interface specially and sync it to the main app. Now, API keys, instead of me going to the platform to put different API keys, I can put it here. So, what API keys are here? Commerce. So, this has an entire paywall. There are some gated features where you would have to pay to access the feature, but I'll give you most of the features for free. Now, if you were to pay, I incorporated Coinbase Commerce for if you want to pay with crypto, and Dodo API because Stripe is not available in my location. Do I sit there and say, oh, I have to get a business in USA? Well, even if you were to get a business in USA, it doesn't cost up to $500 to get it. So do you quit very quickly? Oh, Stripe is not available in my location. There's nothing I can do. Or do you, are you adventurous? Ambitious, stubborn, in effect. So I did. I noticed. Oh, how do I now overcome this Stripe hurdle? One of it is to get a business in USA, which you can get online. The other is exploring other payment gateways that are quite as popular as Stripe, but available to the Philippines, and to the Philippines for individuals, not businesses. Because, for example, many people don't have businesses. So I found Dodo AI, but did I find only Dodo AI? No, there are many others. There is Paddle. There is so now, all this knowledge, you can use it to consult and make money if money is what you're after. But how do you get such a customer? You have to have built something like this that they can see. Oh, I saw you build this. Oh, how did you build this? Then, if you want to consult and get a fee, you can. So, anyway, now, where did this all start? How did I know that it's possible to do all this? Analytics is here, earnings is here. So course creators, they can earn a cut, but I can adjust the fee. So let's say the creator earns 85%, I earn 15% as the project founder. I can tweak this. Okay, so there's an admin for that. Now the Web3 course, when I want to upload my 1,000 videos, I will be doing it from the back from the admin center here. So now that we are here, there's also notification. Now this application, you can put it on App Store where it will get organic traffic because App Store has say billions of users. But let's say that, oh, App Store says I cannot approve of your application. What do you do in such a case? That's why I made this into a type of application. It's web, but you can actually add it to your home screen on your phone, and it will turn into an application. And then you can enable push notifications such that even if you are offline, you'll be receiving notifications. Now, when I started building this, did I know of all that? The answer is no. Bringing us to how I started. So let me show you how I started. So this platform was where I started. This platform. I started on a very basic a very basic vibe coding portal. Although it's not as basic as you think, but let me just show you this. I have an article where I've featured all this, so I'm going to share it, although it's in the description. So for those interested in Web3, the easiest applications to build, by the way, are Web3 applications because you can, you can host everything on the chain. Make it entirely permissionless, so you don't have to worry about how it will run, all that. Anyway, I'll explain that in a bit. So this one is a Web3 related vibe coding portal. It may have an airdrop, I don't know, but it has a point system for those interested in airdrops. Uh, And if you want to build your application on Farcaster or Base, that can be another huge airdrop. So that's a side note. I'll tell you about that in a bit. But if you want to, you may want to try that, because if Base has an airdrop, they will likely have developer airdrop. And these days, you can also incorporate a token with your application from the get-go. I've seen people that make $1,000 a day simply by launching an application. They incorporate a token using Banker, and then they earn a revenue from the fees. I'll talk about that towards the end of this video. But this is where I started. You see, 2 months ago, by the way, the building of this, it took 3 weeks. I'm building 15 applications, and these applications are all unique, tied to my identity. Some of them are productivity tools to solve my own problems. So Web3 Wikis, it started as a productivity tool. I'll show you. So you see all the conversation. There's a lot of conversation that went into ending up building the basic version of the application. So the basic version is what you have here. Okay. So now this is front end. Front end is very easy to build. Front end is, what the end user sees, you know. Now, it will surprise you that this has an admin, but it's entirely front end. So that's where I started. I started with front end, not worrying about back end database. I went manual with it. Now, what do I mean manual? It means editing the code directly on GitHub. So the code base for this is on GitHub. Not to worry, just be patient. You will understand. And if you don't understand, the video is recorded. Just rewatch it. It's very easy, but uh, you know, what you need to from this is the mental side, preparing your mind. Everyone here, is just as easy as in being intentional, making inquiries and logic. Every human is a programmer. Every human is a programmer. In your day-to-day life as Nigerians, you are programmers. It's just the same thing here. And there is no level of advancement that an app is that it will not cater to humans. So if humans are the audience, your knowledge of fellow humans, that's sufficient for the logic of an app. So that's the thing to conquer the most when it comes to this. And yes, so the code for that, I wouldn't remember which one it is. Maybe this one. No, this. Okay, the code for that is maybe this, something like this. Okay, so everything that you see on the front end is just text overall. It's a language. So it's basically the translation of that text that you end up seeing. If you want to understand it better, you go to ChatGPT and ask about the history of this programming. How the PC screen came to life, for example. It's just pixels, and then using electricity to tweak the pixels such that it takes form. And it used to be manual before, button oriented. You can go back in history to find out. So this is all the code. The code is just the same thing you have on your PC. Folders. Everybody has folders in their PC. So folders, something like this, like all this. Let's say like this. So downloads. Let's use desktop. Okay, so this is a folder. Like this one now is a folder. I don't know if anything is inside, but okay, this is an app. It's empty. Okay. Anyway, folders, then files in the folder. That's all that there is. So if you are using your PC daily, you are basically programming. It's just a bit of organization. So what they do is they create a folder, put the files in the folder, then reference the files just for a bit of organization. Anyway, so how I was building that app, it's all front end, is I would come to the code and manually edit the code. So let's say that I'm here. Okay, so it has even displayed. So this is actually where I built the first application. Now this is all front end. So you see all the conversations we had to build this. So this is the code of this application, this one. So if you tweak something here, it's going to affect the application. So originally, though I know that there are easier methods to this, for example, you push the code to GitHub, I didn't because I wanted to understand file structure. So in my personally, I would copy all this code one by one and paste it in the GitHub. So that's how I approached it. Add new file, create new file, name it, give it a name, and then paste the code one by one. And then if I would have to make changes, I would ask, oh, which files did you change? And then I would also go and manually adjust the files. So that's how I started, crude like that. Until today, I still do that. But how did I advance from that? So I wondered, what if instead of now I don't read anything, I just practice. So what if instead of being able to instead of having to manually edit the code on GitHub, what if it's possible for the AI agent? No, no, no. Yes, it's possible for the AI agent to edit the code for me. Is that possible? The answer is yes. So that's how I discovered that, okay, you can go to settings, and then create a token, like an access token that that will give the agent the authority to read or write from your code, read or write. You can set it. So no, personal access tokens. So you see, I gave, this is airdrop C admin, although it has expired because I gave it maybe a duration during which it can edit my code. So giving authority to it. So I created an access code, gave it to the agent, and it was able to edit my code for me. Now, on the basis of that, I realized, oh, it may be possible to build an admin then. I mean, if it's possible to, so why not build an admin and all front end, by the way, but it will use the code, the access code I give it. So this time you're not worrying about back end and the technicality surrounding that. You're building a front end that looks like it has a database. So anyway, the point is this application, everything about it is front end, no back end. So if you go to settings, I have an admin password here. Just a moment. Oh, maybe it has expired. Wow. Or have I forgotten it? Maybe it has expired. Just a moment. Let's see. So that's something new that I'm learning there. Let's see. Okay, it may not have expired. It's wow. This is shocking. Oh, wait. Okay, it hasn't expired. So you see this is sync to GitHub. So this is entirely front end and no database included. This is all front end, but I'm using the access token to be able to write to the GitHub using this interface. So instead of going to the GitHub to manually edit the code, I would now just easily come here, edit pack, and then I would put in the text here and done. So this is how it all started. So I realized, okay, it's even possible to build a front end with an admin without being worried about the technicalities of a backend or a database, and just using that access code from GitHub. So that's how it all started. So after I built this, by the way, remember I built this to solve my productivity. What is my productivity where I'm lacking productively? So I've created 7,000 videos, many of them about airdrops, but I don't end up doing the airdrop activities myself. So I would finish doing the videos. I'm already weak and I would not end up doing the activities. I'm sure Yaki knows about Kaito and all that. to there are just too many things in Web3 to keep track of. So that's why I built this. What if you can build something that would remind you of your daily airdrop tasks? And that alone is an advancement in productivity for me. So this is how it started. Start task, time myself. If I don't finish the task, it will penalize me. Then I figured out how to add AI here. For those who want to get post ideas, you incorporate AI, and then the ability to price it from the very first app. So let's say I price this for 1.99, subscribe, pay with crypto. I learned how to add a paywall on this very basic application so people can already pay. Now, if you have this and you want to make an income, your ability to make an income has improved by 10x already on the basis of this alone. All that is left is you need to get users on it. For example, passionately you get users. How can you get users? It's as easy as this is your property, telling people about it. Oh, go and check my application. You can tackle it from a model standpoint, give value for free, and eventually, that's contagious enough for them to want to pay. Or they want to advance their productivity, they end up having to access a paid feature. Or you create an affiliate program, or you introduce a token, or you go social media, automate an entire TikTok, for example, talking about your project nonstop. It's just as simplified. The entire process is just that simplified. Go and print flyers and take it to maybe there is a seminar about airdrop, give everybody. And that's all that there is to it because there is a product. So now, do you sit on this product or do you advance? The iteration of this product or the advancement is this. Now, was this hard to build? Yes. This is very advanced to build compared to this one, even from a UI standpoint, and I've never done it before. This time, this one has a back end. It has database, and for this particular one, I've never I didn't use a popular method to build this one. The back I had a back end. I didn't use Superbase. Let me go there. Superbase is easier, but I didn't take that route. That's easy route because I want to learn. So in building this one, I used a different tech stack. I mean, besides the framework, the back end for this one, I use Railway as back. I use Vercel, Railway, and uh, I can't remember, but a separate back end is on a separate ground. Railway and Vercel for front end. Then the next application, did I go super base? No, I went another route. I tried Torso, uh, Render. No, no, yes, Torso, Render, and Vercel. So a different technology entirely. To deploy the first application, the one before this one, I spent maybe 10 hours to be able to figure it out such that it's running. The admin is running in sync with the front end. But the second one, I ended up spending around 5 hours. Then the third one, I decided to try super base, but that required rewriting the code all over again. So I'll tell you something when you are building that is of relevance so that you don't go through this hassle. So anyway, did I have to pay for this? Yes. Like I said, personally, I would pay. I don't generally like the free route, even though it's my last money. I'm doing it from a mentality standpoint, from a learning standpoint. So, did I pay for this prompt? Even if I had to pay for the prompt, the answer is yes. I'll tell you the pricing of that. But I learned a lot, and that's where the ultimate earning comes in. The result is what you see here. So the advancement of airdrop C is this one. Now, if I were to sell this application, for example, the way it looks, assuming I decide to sell it as is, I wouldn't ask, how much you think this is worth if I were to sell it, but let's say minimum of $5,000. But how about if I were to wait and get, say, uh, 5,000 users and and even without revenue, I've seen an application with 4,000 users that was sold for 85,000. That's assuming you were to sell. So at this stage, let me just feature this. Again, all for inspiration. These are also ideas that you yourself can build. If you build an application like this is not my application, you'll be able to link with founders. Founders will find you because they want to propagate their projects. And even if they have to pay eventually to list their projects on your application, they would end up paying. Anyway, I found this application because I was looking for, okay, if someone was to sell, okay, for example, this one price, this one has revenue of $35. Now, for someone who wants to buy, you can also buy. So this is good for the knowledge. This one revenue is 3.4, price is 60,000. That is the price of the seller. I don't know what this application is. Photo is an AI powered product. Photo and fashion visual generation SaaS used by e-commerce sellers and creators. So now this one is generating revenue already, but you see the sale price at 60,000. So I'm just giving you this just for a general overview. So now that we have talked about programming, let's talk about getting started very quickly. But before that, let me just see the state of the stream. Okay, everyone is there. So let's talk about getting started very quickly. Okay, Uncle Uche, you use Grok. Okay, so can Grok program? Can Grok program? The answer is yes. Yes, while it can create images. Now, even with images, you need algorithms. So we'll talk about that. You need algorithms because, like Uncle Uche, if, for example, if you are using Grok, for example, to create those audios and videos, you can turn that into an entire venture where people pay to be able to use, because people like one click solutions. I'll give you some instances. One click solutions where, okay, they just create a simple prompt and it's going to generate the video. But where you come in is in defining the algorithm that ships out the resulting video, because Grok cannot do it alone. Although there are agents that are proactive, I'll talk about OpenClaw in a bit, that are proactive. They have their own brain and they can just use their own initiative to do stuff. But the likes of Grok relies on the person of you. If you don't prompt it effectively, the results will not come out. So we're talking now the logic of creating a project. So, for example, that's how the conversation starts of how to create your $1 billion project. Okay, let's say that you want to create a project that creates one-click videos for people based on their prompts. How would you create it? Is the question. So you'd have to give Grok an algorithm. Okay, put lighting. Jan will know this better. How to create a product review type of visual. Put lighting somewhere, transitions, let the angle be this, three grid, all those type of uh, stuff. You would have to, do. Anyway, let's not talk about that. But anyway, I wanted to feature Grok very quickly. You can also use Grok to build your application. I've been here for a while, but maybe I can show you. But I've built an entire game. And speaking of applications, you can build an application today and make $1,000 in revenue today. We will talk about that. It's possible because if you build a web application, then you would have to look for an audience. Are there ways to look for an audience? Yes, you can use social media and stuff. But if you build an application for App Store, and let's say you put it on App Store and it gets approved, you are exposing it to say 1 billion, let's say 1 million users. So you can even get revenue on day one. I'll show you the tool that you can use to build your application on App Store without the hassle that I went through. All that you need is to write that $1 billion paper that defines your project. That's all that you need. Many times we always talk about third party elements as our deterrent. It doesn't exist. Those are illusions. You are the primary product. So write a paper that fully defines your project and it can be in one click without all the hassle I went through. To build these three applications, learning wise, I spent I'm approaching 2,000 in expenditure to learn this stuff that I'm discussing here. But you can build this stuff without any expense in reality, and we are going to discuss that in a bit. So anyway, Grok. Grok, yes, it can create images, but Grok is also good for creating programming. Let's talk about Grok very quickly. If you are to compare Grok to ChatGPT, for example, in deep search, Grok has an advantage when it comes to sourcing information from Twitter. So if I was to source information from Twitter, I would go to Grok over ChatGPT. If I were to source information, let's say I want to build an application that will create me publications that can outrank every other publication on Google for a subject, then I would go to Gemini for deep research because it has direct access to Google. So Grok has its, it has its potency when it comes to deep search because it has access to Twitter. So that's a side note. But Grok itself has models, and depending on the model, you would you would you would not get the best, except you know how to prompt and improvise and stuff like that. So speaking of model, yes, you can upgrade models. It's not expensive. And speaking of, even when it's expensive, there are many of this you can get. Uncle Uche is an educator. Many of these have programs for educator where they would slash the price like 90%, and many of them free. If you check any AI, AI model, they always have that for educators or students who want to use it almost free. If you have a startup, you can get all this without paying. In fact, I saw a list of 100 projects that are offering free credits for startups to build. So, again, improvisation is a very important thing. Africans know this. If there is a blockage somewhere, if they don't allow you to enter a building because of security guard, maybe you invest your money and buy an agbada and go back. So improvisation is very important. We have to be Africans in our approach to dealing with the web if we want to excel. So you can also customize instructions. You may not have explored this, so that the AI doesn't keep hallucinating. Its memory is intact. You can customize instructions. You can upgrade. And if you're to program, you can program. Because I've launched an entire game. Let me show you the game. I would, hopefully I can show you. It's a long time I've been there, but I'm just doing all this for inspiration more than anything. I'm not an expert. Oh, well, I ventured into this with zero knowledge. uh, I'm not supposed to show chats, but what can I do? That's an error. Okay, so I launched a game. I've never programmed before, but this was the first game I launched. And interestingly, I launched it with Grok. So, Grok, the good thing is it has a canvas that allows you to, and by the way, this has an airdrop. So if you launch a game here, who knows, you can end up with a huge airdrop. So, I've touched on 3 projects with airdrops. So, this is one of them. It's called Remix. So, I've launched a game here in the past. Let me see if I can look at it. Okay, so this is the name of the game. The name of the game is Duduke. Okay, Duduke is my daughter, dedicated to her. And it has plays, by the way. But this was entirely built with Grok. No programming knowledge. I just gave it the idea, kept prompting till I was able to launch the game. Now, speaking of money, the game is on an application that will give you airdrop. Eventually, when they fully launched, your game will be monetized. It's playable on Farcaster and different places. So when they fully launch, you'll be able to monetize your game, and based on the game plays, you'll have revenue. So I'm just trying to say that Grok, Grok can program, so you can explore it to that effect. We've covered that ChatGPT can as well. So let's stop there on that note. Now let's go into practice very quickly. So speaking of free, I'll show you some tools that you can use to prototype your applications for free, and that will give you the inspiration you need to. Let's see. Yes, so I did something. I did something for Uncle Uche. Let me just feature it. So this is an idea because many underrate Nigeria. I see Nigeria as everything. The all the things what the world lacks in terms of knowledge, in terms of everything that is left is Nigeria. Knowledge from the down to earth spaces of Nigeria. In terms of innovation, they've reached the peak. There's nothing else they can innovate. And soon, the only
Hmm?
thing that will be lacking is down to earth
Say,
knowledge.
you dey play
Okay.
now. I'm coming. You dey call me. Yeah, madam. Abeg, you hear me now? Na sister, this guy dey call me. You ask me question, I'm not here.
Okay, apologies. Anyway, I was thinking, like in your for you, since you are an educator, this may interest you. So I was thinking, in Nigeria, they always have like in university, for example, many tutors are students themselves. Then they they tutor their fellow students and stuff like that. What if there was an app, and I don't believe it exists by in Nigeria yet, because Nigeria is a haven when it comes to innovation. Many things don't exist there. So what if there was an app that, although this may not be the app of your intent, but I just said, okay, let me align it with you, who is an educator. So what if there was an app that uh, allows student tutors to, it gives them all the tools to be able to tutor online, and then they bring their respective audiences. The application makes an income from their collective income, like a percentage, and while offering them all the tools they will need to run successful a studio, to run successful teaching campaigns and stuff like that. And you as well can do it, since you teach, you are an educator and stuff like that. So uh, I just decided to prototype this now. So this is how it will look. I feel that there is room for this to be implemented in Nigeria. And well, if you have such an app, then you have leverage. If you are to link up with someone, maybe in government or something, oh, I have this app idea, you do an entire pitch session. You know if they don't have this thing projector, you get a projector, and just be passionate about it. Or in the schools that you have been in, you connect with the students there. Oh, I see that you like tutoring this thing. Why not have a space? Maybe they pay $1 to maintain their studio a month, and then a venture starts out of that. So that may be a good start. Now, how did I create this? This is just a prototype, by the way. It's not in a live environment. If I wanted to build this live, I would not be using this, even though this is free. So let me show you. So this is free. This is free to use. And by the way, Google has so many tools that are free. For Uncle Luce, since you want to since you are making videos, Google has more advanced video tools that are free. I'm going to show you some of them. So there's just enough to explore. So let's start there. If you want to explore Google, the suite of tools that Google offers, you go to Labs Google. So this is where you explore all the tools, that even the futuristic tools that have not been launched yet. It's all available here. So uh, let me show you. If you are looking for those advanced videos, very realistic videos, you can use View All. I want to pick it up from here. Sparkify, explore short videos created with the latest Google AI innovations, including Gemini and VO. This is not available yet. Stitch is for creating designs. Before the main application, you can create designs. Jules, an asynchronous AI coding agent that automate tasks within GitHub workflows. This one is very good, so you can work on your GitHub directly using this one. Uh, a new search expert. Just a moment, let me go. This one is also very good. This one you can pick any video from YouTube and it will analyze it and recreate it if you want. This one is very good. Whisk. If you want to create 8K images that no camera can create, that one will do it for you. Do it for you. And then you can be proactive. Now, I don't know if John is listening here. For many of these things, you can be proactive. Anyway, we'll talk about John in a bit. But this old man with a blue suit and straw hat. So this comes in handy when you want to create content, let's say automated content, those mind-blowing content you see on TikTok, Instagram that go viral. In fact, many of the viral TikToks, they are AI oriented, they are automated. If you see an application on App Store that has 100,000 users within 3 weeks, their marketing strategies from TikTok. So they would automate like 10 channels with different vehicles to the app. Let's say the app is about food. So one channel is going to be about maybe inorganic meals. The other channel will be about futuristic meals. So they would have 10 channels like that, all automated with like POV videos, and everything will be leading to their bio, which is the app. And that's how they generate 100,000 users on App Store because it's automated. A human cannot do that. Now imagine if you were to offer that as a service, assuming you specialize in that. There is nobody that will reject your service. You can make $10,000 doing that in a month in reality. And this is not me. When I talk, I'm talking based on reality. You may not believe me, but I know what I'm saying. It's just about being proactive. For example, let's say you've created 10 channels, they are running. If you have money, you run ads on them. You may think ads are expensive. I'll show you a TikTok account where I run ads. $5 you would get, $10 you may get 500 subscribers. You may get 20,000 views on your videos. So it's not that hard. Now, if you create a channel that is automated, if you have to run some ads on it, you run ads on it so that the aesthetics look good. You study Facebook, for example, anybody running ad, they no longer need to run ad. You contact them. I see you are running this ad, or you contact them to avail of their service. If it's a cheap service, you avail of it. If it's not a cheap service, you tell them, oh, how much is your service? I want to make an inquiry. Then I see you are running ads. In fact, I found your application via an ad. Why don't you do this instead? Pitch to them your 10 channels, all with views, automated. This is a one-time effort, one-time payment. You set it up. It's going to be running automated videos linking to your application. There's nobody that will reject that value proposition. And if your target audience is USA will pay 5,000 for. They are not. That's their orientation. They will pay even though they know they can use AI to do it. They will pay you 5,000. So these things are not very hard. It's just implementation that is lacking. What are we going to do 1 week or 2 weeks from now with all this that we have discussed? Okay. So anyway, this can make you the most advanced image, even video animations that you want. The question now is, can you prompt it to do that? So you have to experiment. Although there are tools to enhance prompting, but best approach for this is experimentation so that the result will have a touch of you. Now, if you grind here prompting, all it contains is your evolution. So the results will become unique to you. So that's my recommendation. Although there are tools, for example, you can use ChatGPT. Let's say you have an example video, an example image. You can use ChatGPT to describe the image. You offer it to ChatGPT, it will describe the image in a prompt, then you provide it here. Let's experiment with this very quickly. I don't know if I have any image. Let's use this. So you give it a scene. Let's let's put another image here. No, let's see. Just a moment. Let's just start with this. Combine your images. If you want video, you can choose video at the top on the middle screen here. But let's see what. Let's see. Okay, this was image. Uh, just a moment. Uh, Anyway, let's not dwell on this. This is one of the tools you'll use. Another one you'd use. Everything you'll get from here. Another one you can use is VO. VO is specialized for video. For Yaki, you're building, you can use Firebase Studio, build full stack AI applications with Firebase. This one is good because the back end is already there. I mean, you can use, although it's not very good with aesthetics and all that. So, but it has back end and all that that you can simply incorporate. So very easy to deploy with this. But so that's one of the tools. For videos, Illuminate, turn your academic papers into engaging AI generated discussions. Uncle Lima can you, I mean, Uncle Uche can use this because there's room for there's room for education on TikTok. You know, it will shock you that on TikTok, even though it's entertainment oriented, many niches there that if you go there on that niche, you'll go viral. You know, if you go with AI related content, Web3, although Web3 they like to bash it, education. If you go with education, make short videos like this one, I believe will work. Turn your academic papers into engaging AI generated discussions with one click. You can explore that. Google videos, you can explore this as well. Although the video orientation here is slides type of videos, but there is one I'm looking for. I think it's Flow. Just a moment. Okay, this one. So this one can create those the video I was intending to create earlier. It's going to do it with audio with you can use frame to videos. So those images you get from Whisk, you know, you tell Whisk to give you 8K images, you can put them here as frames. So let me just do the video I was intending to with this. Mm, uh, okay.
Surely, surely, I don't like that gist. You're having test on Monday. I don't know why you be there gisting.
Chukunye. Eh?
Let's just wait for this and see the results. So this is another tool of relevance if you want to create automated videos. Uh, Now you can automate this process, by the way. But so I'll show you a way to do that. Although I won't go into tutorial, but I'll show you the tools. Now, what do I mean automate this? The tool will create it using a plugin from, for example, Google, and then it will publish it to, let's say, 10 social media platforms of you, all automatic. There are tools for that, you know, but it's good to go through the I mean, to go through the manual process first, because it will uh, there's more grit to that than just jumping into automation. But if you want to jump into automation as well, it's good. I'm going to show you the tools for that. So for automation, where the whole process is hands off, and that is when you go for clients, when you can hands off the automation process. The reason is because when you can do that for yourself, then you can do that for 10 clients at a click of a button. So there's there's a publication in the video description that will feature all these applications. So I'm going to write that out. So not to worry if you don't pick it up here, it's going to be in that application. But this is one of the tools I'll feature that can automate everything. It's free. You can start for free. So you can incorporate AI into it. For example, you want OpenAI to write the script for you to no, first off, you want it to do research, so you can use Google Gemini in the flow. That Google Gemini should do research and source the latest news from, let's say, Bloomberg, or from in Nigeria. What do they have that is popular? Maybe from Naira Land, and then serve the content to OpenAI. OpenAI generates a content specialized for TikTok. So you create a flow of it, and then you add the TikTok plugin that will will automatically publish to TikTok. Perplexity is also good for automation. So we will get to this because a core aspect of this conversation is automation. Because if you want to make money, for example, your interest is in making money, yes, you can build apps. If you can build apps for yourself, then you can build for others. That's a key to making revenue. If you cannot make revenue using the app, you can build the apps for others. Then it improves your branding. You can talk to people more brandedly. Now, automation is another part of it because there is no way you can catch up manually if you were to we've talked about the relevance of content when you want to grow your brand. So automation is bound to be part of it. So now, if you are to build app, you'd also have to go like affiliate, like Airbnb, for example. So a way to connect entrepreneurs. You always have to incorporate that somewhere in the app, because you cannot rely entirely on your user base if you are just getting started. So you need to involve other entrepreneurs and create that, that vehicle. So this is one tool for automation. We will talk about it. And another tool for automation is this one. And I also found one. It's called Flowit. Flowit. It's that one is very simple to use. Now, for automating your browser, let's say that you want to automate your browser, because there's some things that may need that. For example, scraping. Some people rely on scraping for research. Now, scraping means they're not going through the API, they are actually browsing just like you and I. So there are many scrapers. There are people that so Manus, imagine Facebook just bought Manus, by the way. You can imagine how many billions they would have bought Manus. But if you want to automate your browser, you can use this. And this one is very advanced for building apps, automation. The reason it's very advanced is because it has it has plugins from any application you can think of. So you can run any automation you can think of here. If the application is not featured here, there is something called Zapier. It's also an automation platform. If you add Zapier as a plugin here, all the 7,000 applications on Zapier, you'll be able to manage it here and automated. Minimax is a model for speech, music, images. It's free. It's a good one. So this one is very robust. It was bought by Facebook recently. So you want to have this in your arsenal. Create slides, build website, develop apps. This one you can develop app and deploy it immediately. It will give you a link. No back end, no database needed. Just create your prompt. After it builds it, it will provide you the link to your application instantly. So there are certain applications like that. So I'm just bringing them up. Replit as well. Replit is also good. You can use it for free because they've now decided to be giving free credits every day. It can build the most complex app. It can also build automation. So automation, you have to change to automation. It can also build mobile app for App Store. Now, the reason you want this is you would not struggle much with deploying locally, and it will be ready. It will stick to the parameters of App Store. The chances of approval is high. And App Store is good because with App Store, you don't need to bother much about paywall. Apple is going to manage that for you. So some of the technicalities of launching an app, when you are launching an App Store, it will be removed. So it's generally plug and play, wait for their approval. And it also has super base integration if you are building a web app. So immediately you put a prompt here, it's going to build the app and you can already deploy it. If you publish it, it will give you a link. The only thing is that if you are not paid, it will have a watermark saying built by Replit. But this is a good start. If you don't have funds, you can, if you exhaust your credit today, you wait for credit the next day, continue building. So I wanted to try this app for complexity because one way to grow your app is Reddit, but it's very hard to dominate Reddit because they always ban people. You know, you have to if you are using AI, it has to study the rules of a subreddit and try to stick to it. So I was trying to test this for those complex ones, and it can build it very easy. If I were to publish this now, I'll just click publish. No need to do anything. In minutes you would have your app ready, but it's going to carry this tag made with Replit. If you want to remove the tag, that's when you'll pay, and the payment is not expensive, $20 a month. So I think this will give you the code base of it. So, and it has everything, the hosting and all that, so that's good. Okay, so automation, I don't know if we're no, let's see the result of this one. Let's see. Okay, so not very perfect. How do I expand this? So this is how the video is looking. Yes. So all I gave it was, so you can improve on that. All I gave it was and it has voiceover, by the way. So if you tell it to put it's going to come with voiceover. And again, there are different models. So there is, then you can go, portrait for the likes of TikTok. There are different models as well. So this has quality audio. Quality, this is fast. They come with audio. So it added audio by itself. I didn't ask it to add audio. And this is all by Google. You can get started for free. Google has a lot of tools, so you can explore that. Google also has Gemini for research. And they are not expensive, by the way. So if you have to, let's say you want more lengthier videos, all that, then let's go to this. This is another good one for images. It's by Google. If you are building, and let's say you are building an app and you want to, let's say, have your audience use AI features powered by Google Gemini, this is the place where you get API keys. You can get API key for free, but it won't give you the highest model. If you want highest model, you can pay. It's not even pay. It's you just provide a card. If you provide a card, it will give you $300 worth, I believe, of free credits. So you can do a lot of that, and it's just pay as you go. For pricing, you will know the pricing. Let's say you want to build, maybe one video is like, let's say, 0.08 cents, depending on the complexity of the video. Let's say one image is like 0.003 cents. So if you are to charge users for that service, if you charge them, say, $1 or $2 a month, it's you will be in profit, irrespective of how many times they use the your service. And in fact, to make $1 million a month with an app is not much. You can ask Grok or ChatGPT. If you have a yearly plan, 4,000, 5,000 users who avail of a yearly plan, let's say your yearly plan is $49, you'd get 1 million. Or maybe it doesn't take much, really. But so Nano Banana, that one is very good for images, but here it's requesting to connect an API key. But there are lower models that will not require that. So this one can create Google is the best when it comes to images, like the smartness for that. Okay, so again, these are all free tools. So these are all free tools, so you can explore it. So automation. Let's quickly talk about. No, no, no. Let's talk about. I was talking about Uncle Uche's app. So this is just an idea, by the way. You may want to build on it or not, but basically, the idea behind this is an app for students to teach other students and become entrepreneurs while doing it. So that's the idea behind this. So, people can create courses, broadcast live, have instant support, and that's the concept behind this. I believe there is room for it in Nigeria. Now, I also did a prototype for John. I'll do a sample prototype in this video just to show you how easy it is. John, I don't have the full picture of your venture, but I see room for something like this. Like Nigeria, for example, they don't know the difference between a camera, like visual, and a phone. That is a market in itself. Although I've not yet implemented it here fully, but imagine turning every phone user to entrepreneurs in Nigeria, while also partnering with the company like Canon. If I go to Canon if you have this project, you have 5,000 users, Nigerians, you go to Canon, or that you want to be an affiliate of their camera and introduce it to Nigeria, you are going to get a deal. Every project has an affiliate program. That's how they grow. So that's another way of making money. If you go to TikTok, for example, if you see all those people doing live videos marketing a project, they are affiliates. TikTok has an affiliate program. If you explore TikTok more intently, you would see it, where you see people using even AI puppets to make these videos that market a product. They're all affiliates. They get a commission from every sale that comes in. So every project, that's another revenue generating mechanism. You contact projects and you tell them, oh, you want to be an affiliate of their program, but you have a stronger value proposition if you have an app, or if you have an audience. If you have an audience, then they would very much grant it. Say you have 10,000 followers on TikTok, or relating to their product, they would definitely give you an affiliate. And if you consciously check any application, does it have an affiliate program? It likely does. It may not be publicized. You would likely find it in the footer. So if you have an application like this, turn every Nigerian with a phone into an entrepreneur. How do you now? You need an education system to inform them of what they can actually do with their phone. So you connect with skit makers, anyone that exclusively uses phone, that is has a large following. Oh, why don't you come to my application? I'll give you a space. Every revenue generated from there, you get a cut. Bring your audience. All you have to do is post your skits that you created with a phone, and then you would start finding other people becoming entrepreneurs on the basis of your platform, and promotion is settled because you only get a cut from the fee that everybody makes as an income. Then you want to partner with Canon, for example. How would I approach it? I would create a portal that shows pictures created by Canon and a phone side by side. So this is just a demo, for example. So, and then the different cameras, because people don't know. So if you see, like here, it says iPhone 15 Pro versus Sony ZR-V. So that's where the uniqueness comes in. An app that doesn't exist before, where your own grind comes in. You take the picture with so phone, you take the picture with a Canon phone, display it. This is a mentality adjusting paradigm to your project. It's also educational. Then it will now be original phone users. It will now be inculcating in them the need to get a camera. And that's where your partnership with, because when you go to these projects, you go with stats. Oh, I have this portal on my application. There are 5,000 users that are transitioning. They are picking up interest into, wanting Canon. Can you give us a package in Nigeria? A package in Nigeria that will be very affordable. Let me propagate your product. There's no way they will not give you a deal. Speaking of deals, you go to government official, let's say you set up your business, it's backed with an app, you are going to get the deal. You want to travel, you are going to get the deal. You go as a startup, apply for a startup visa, build an app, have 5,000 users on it, then go for as a startup. Many things are just too possible, but I don't want to dwell on that now. So that's my scope for this. If you are to build such an app, live streaming is iShowSpeed came to Nigeria. How can you market that? Very possible. If I had the means, I would set up a live streaming platform so that the cameras are not idle. There's limit to what you can do waiting for clients in reality. So set up a studio, use the cameras to do their stream, let them rent it. Then once you have a blueprint, you can set up the same studio for other people. Oh, live streaming is becoming this thing. I have the blueprint already. Look at my studio. Give me a deal. Let me set up your studio for you. Now that's big money. You get the camera, you have an affiliate deal, you get it discounted. Then you connect all you create on your app. You now have a portal for live streamers to connect live streamers to centers where there is already live streaming equipment. Before you know it, you already have you are the Airbnb of live streaming. You already have in your affiliate program, you already have like 100, a network of 100 live streaming centers, and then you connect the users to these live streaming centers. You schedule it, all that, and you make an income. There's no way of making an income manually in today's society. You need the masses, and the only way to get the masses, social media, building an app. Where possible, an app should be a staple, because like I said, it improves your branding. There are hundreds of almost every project on Instagram, TikTok, they don't have an app. They cry the next day that they delete their 100K followers on Instagram. Those are that's market. That's market. Oh, you contact them. Oh, I want to avail of your service. How much is it? So. Wow, interesting. You don't have an app. Then you invite them to like maybe a chat room. You go executive, have 2 or 3 people in the chat room. Go executive. Why you should get an app? I mean, why you should get an app for your business? I mean, you list it out, then see the app I've built. If you want to be proactive, you build it proactively, and we should not be afraid of grind and I don't know, Nigerians. There's a lot of quality there. We need to start using it. Anyway, the reason for this video is not to to claim anything. I'm doing it for inspiration, and especially for us to go and implement. After this video, we should be implemented. We're empowered enough. Now, speaking of implementation, I'll just show you a few things, then we will start implementation. Hopefully, within the next 3 weeks, everyone has already built at least a prototype of their vision. That's the least you can do, and just venture into it. You'd be blown away by what you are actually capable of. Just seeing your definition come to life is grand. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to, but you will experience it. You enter God invincibility status because God is a creator. That's his very definition, and he put creation into humans. Once you tap into that creation, you start to attain reattain invincibility, which we once were. But by virtue of the system, we become, we relegate ourselves, our capability. So we should resuscitate that. So let's go into practice a bit. Now, for your inspiration, I'll show you some of my ideas. Personally, I'm not bothered about displaying my ideas, even when they are not ready. because I go for uh, you know, I put a manual element to my ideas. For example, Web3 Wikis, I would have to fill it up with 1,000 videos. Hardly can anybody do that. So there's always a manual element. So even if you replicate it, you may not be able to replicate my grind. So before we go, I'm going to experiment with. By the way, I just started and I already have. What if I told you that I already have a client and I just started? And what did it take to get the client? It's just a conversation. Oh, see this app I built. See this app I built, and uh, the person, this, first off, the person did not know the difference between an app and a website, and many don't know that. So there's a room for education there. Many people don't know that a website is different from an app. So many times when you show someone an app, they would think, oh, this is just a website, but it's not. I think by now we should know the difference. An app is like Twitter, like Web3 Wikis, which I showed you. Users have profile. There's a lot of things going on there. A website is like this. Okay, this is my website, and I'll show you the app of the website. So my website is airdropc.com. Even if you can't build an app, you can start with a website. Even that alone is enough. There are some affiliate programs you apply for. They would ask you, oh, what is your app name? What is your website? So you would be stuck there. And to build a website and launch it, I'll show you how to do that. You can do that in 2 minutes, in 1 minute, free of charge. Yaki knows how to do that because he said he has deployed. So this is more of a website. Although these days, websites are, they are more advanced. Like this one is paid for on Wix. So this is a website, but I built an app and pointed an app for the website. So this is the app. It's still on a subdomain of the of the website. So if you see here, it will lead you to a publication on the website. So let's say I click on learn more. So that's like SEO, trying to generate traffic to the website. Now this website is gaining organic traffic because even ChatGPT is recommending my website. Now, how do I know that? So, don't be afraid about because even when I'm not active, I would be getting traffic, like maybe I have an email list. So that's an important thing as well, your email list. But maybe I have an email list of 1,000 by now. And much of that email list is coming from chat gpt, from Perplexity. So when people are researching, I don't know where to find it, but much of my let's see, much of my traffic is coming from chat gpt. So anyway, so there's YouTube, there's Google. Okay, this one, user queries by AI app. So Perplexity, Gemini, and ChatGPT, they are sources of traffic to my website. So you see where a website comes in. It, even if I'm not active, people are making inquiries that are related to my website, and it's being preferred by the likes of Google, YouTube, also ChatGPT. So that's like organic growth. Okay, so let's wait for that to load. Anyway, I wanted to go into practice very quickly, but before then, I wanted to show. Let's see. This is I'm building an app for Nigeria. This one I've had it on my radar for a long time because I wanted to. That's the narrative of the app: become confirmed Nigerian. So if you want to explore this as a guest, coming soon. By the way, I have the domain. It's already on domain Marlians. I've had this for 8 years or so. So this is a project I've been wanting to build for 8 years. In the interim that I've not been able to build it, I built it in the past, by the way, but then stopped it. So in the interim, what have I done that is free of charge? It's evolved the model of it. So there's a paper. All my projects have a very lengthy paper that describes everything about it. So let me show you so I said I have a client. This is what I'm building for the client. In the deal conversation, I've not talked payment. So that's me. I'm not that proactive about payment and stuff like that. So I've not taught payment. And does that work? The answer is yes. If you provide quality upfront, you would be shocked at the result. So anyway, let's not go there. But this is a first client. Now, if the client is from USA, something like this at the very least 500. Depending on you, and so there's no one that will see this. Uh, depending on your work, so the person asked for something basic, thinking, oh, it's just a website, but I went proactive and I'm building this. So the person lives in USA, likes to wants to offer a service that will be picking up junk from people's homes because they have junks that they want to dispose of, but they don't have where to. So that's the function here. So that's just the application, what it is about. So can you get clients? Yes. Okay. Uh, so let's go into more practice. So for me, this is what I use to build. Now, this may not be your own. There are free ways. I'll show you that in a bit. So I'm going to be using that later on, but I prefer to go, non-free ways just to remove the complexities, the barriers, although I still ended up spending a lot, but it's all good. But freeways, we are going to talk of anti-gravity in a bit. It's also owned by Google. So let me just open that. I'll just give you like an overview of how to get started with it because there's a lot you can do with it and for free for the most part. And you can explore all the models unheard of, all the Chinese models with this one. So we're going to talk about this one towards the end of the video because it's a bit more complex. But this one will allow you to have more control over the code. You'll be able to deploy the code locally. You can even run it locally. If it's a productivity tool, then you wouldn't need to pay for hosting until you want to publicize it to others. You can be using it locally. So for those in Web3, for example, you want to build an app that looks for arbitrage opportunities on between Polymarket and Kalshi, and you want to use it privately, then you can run it locally. You want to use N8N, and you don't want to pay for hosting. You find out it's open source. You can run it locally. You want to set up an AI that runs 24 hours proactively. Because if you didn't know, there's AI now that is making people a lot of money. It runs 24 hours. There are people telling it to make money, and that's all the bot does. 24 hours, it uses its own brain to think of ways to make money and it implements. Some are shoppers. They can scrape the entire Amazon and look for the, the biggest discounts possible and buy the product on behalf of the user 24 hours. So people are buying like this Mac Mini to run that, but you can run that for $1 uh, or even locally if you have a spare PC and stuff like that. So we'll talk about anti-gravity in a bit. But for now, let's go into some practical to show you. So this is what I use. When you start, if you use my link, you will get free credits. For the most part, I would also get free credits, but for the most part, it's paid. So you see, I have a balance here. Let me show you. Let me see if I can show you. Just to be more practical. You know, just to show you that it's realistic, all the things I'm saying. And most of what I say, I talk from experience. So you see, historically, this is all payments. So just to say that I didn't go the free route. Yes, I knew of the free route from the beginning. Oh, but I didn't take it for the reasons I've mentioned earlier. So this is all payments. And you see, it's consecutive. This is when I was building the app, the food app for the Philippines. This is when I was building Vibe Code Wiki. And you will see, I told you that it's within the last 3 weeks. You see that they are consecutive. Worked on Vibe Code Wiki. I showed you Vibe Code Wiki. This is Web3 Wiki's app 5 days ago. So these are all payments. Okay, so I funded my account now for this tutorial. So Now you can go cheaper models, but I don't go cheaper models because you may end up stressing and quitting, because this thing you also need some grit and grind. Now, if you use lower models, they will be playing with you. Now, another thing you should know is that AI also has biases, so you have to be stubborn with it. You have to. That's why knowledge is important, because if you know what it's doing, then you can be stubborn with it. Otherwise, it will give you the lenient one. You would not end up getting your $1 billion quality, because it will give you what it knows based on the experiences of others that is not you. So it will proactively choose a stack that may be difficult down the road to use. So if you know that, you can tell it from the beginning, oh, this is the stack I want. This is okay. So there are different models. Recently, 4.6 was introduced, very expensive. This is the best model. It just came out. This model can also generate videos. That is Cloud Opus 4.6, but I've tested it out. I'm using Cloud Opus 4.5 for building. Before we start with practical, so I'll show you practical on here. I'll also show you practical on the on the free options. We would use Google Gemini for that. No, let's start with Google Gemini. So, um, okay, so Google Gemini, you can also change models. These are all free models, but some are more advanced than the others. So you can also change models. You can use this to give it instructions so that it doesn't deviate. So let's say you tell it, oh, always, you give it like a documentation that contains the plan, and you tell it to always reference that before like every new iteration, not to adjust the not to change anything, because let's say you've built something and you then prompt again, it may end up changing. You tell it, okay, fix this, it may end up changing something that it's not supposed to touch, something like that. So these are the basics. Then for me, you can give it a basic prompt to get started. The good thing with Gemini is it will incite you to these are other features, by the way. Animate with VO. You can add all these features to your app. So don't you can explore this. If you don't have app ideas, you can also go to browse gallery, because you can start with this as the basis of your own app. So there are many applications here that are already ready made. For some, they may want to build an existing app but go lower in pricing, or specialize it for Nigeria, for example. Good idea. At the very least, if you don't have ideas, you can also replicate an existing app, and then you can maybe make it lower pricing. Now, where you can make it lower pricing is where you have knowledge. Oh, okay, you've compared DeepSeek, you see that it's cheaper. It can still do the same thing that OpenAI does. Then you offer DeepSeek instead, or you bring your key model, where people bring their own keys. They just pay a token to use your platform, stuff like that. So those are just some stuff. Then you can also add files. Let's say you have a picture of an app, you can also use that. So many of these tools, you can provide picture where they try to replicate what's on the picture. That also works. So for this one, let's think of an idea. So let's see what the result will be. Yaki likes, uh, but if I were to go the Yaki route, speaking of Tinder, there are different ways to implement Tinder. You can even implement Tinder for like the idea I spoke of earlier, um, where you compare a phone picture with a camera picture, something like that. Tinder orientation, or maybe a Tinder for uh, there are so many ways to implement Tinder, but let's just experiment with Tinder. Let's just say for Nigeria, for example. Like I said, personally, I would not use just a basic prompt. I would write out the whole project, and then clean it up with. You can use ChatGPT, for example, to clean it up. So personally, I would write it all up. The reason I write it all up is because of it reduces the cost, because the AI can build it in one go. Whereas if you go with bits, it will just give you basic, then you'll have to keep prompting eternally to get it to where you want. Speaking of planning phase, you can use anti-gravity for that. It's very good with planning, and that will not cost you what happened. And that will not cost you anything. So let me show you how to, let me just give an example of that. So let's say that, so you see here, there is planning. So this one will not cost much. Then let's say you go for Claude for planning phase. You can change the model. So let's say that you want to clone an existing application. You want to understand everything. I just want to show you this so that you know how a project is built. Like why it's good to have like a full-fledged prompt. So for this experiment, let me just create a new folder and call it Expensify. So Expensify is an existing application. So let's say you want to build something like Expensify, but you want to understand how Expensify works in the course of building your own. So I created a folder here. I click on open. So I'm opening the folder inside this anti-gravity. Anti-gravity is like an IDE. I will not dwell on that much. You just need to download it. It's owned by Google. So you type anti-gravity Google on this thing, then you can upload it to your PC. So let's say I say that it researches Expensify, and I want to build something similar. Write out implementation MD, and let me just give it something simple because soon we will end the video. So let's see what it does. So right now it's researching. You may not be able to see the screen. So it says planning expense management app, beginning research on Expensify to understand its core features and capabilities for building a similar expense management application. So this application is a $70 million application. So it says, I have good research on Expensify. Let me search for additional information about. So anyway, it will come up with a paper. So you would see the reason is, anyway, let's just wait. So anyway, while this is loading, I want to do something for context sake. Like when you see a $70 million app, there is a paper that defines it. So I say words rule the world, let there be light, and there was light. Till date, words rule the world. You would see programming, everything is all text. So same thing, and that's why you see there are founders, especially if you're in crypto, that have contributed $1 billion to a project on the basis of a paper. There are so many projects that raise funding millions of dollars, and all they have is a paper. Because those investors, they are not reading just a paper. Like, okay, I see this article. Oh, another lengthy article. Just overlook it, because they know that it's the definition of an entire application with its roadmap, with everything. For example, surpassing Google. If I wanted to pitch surpassing Google to raise $1 billion, I can experiment to do so with this paper alone. Now, this is not a complete, I have the complete paper. I think my complete paper is like 10,000 words or 60 pages or something. It's a 1 hour read. Because how do you tell people to give you 1 billion without any effort on your part? Your grind is contagious in itself. The histories and stories. So except you want to raise 5,000, even so, you would struggle. So how do you raise 1 million if only what you have is a paper? It has to be as elaborate as can be. So this is like a definition of the entire route to surpassing Google. This is a modified version for a landing page. You see, it's not in depth, but the entire route for the ambition of surpassing Google is documented here. So you may see a project that is $70 million. They all have a paper. Now, what is the paper for Expensify? That's why I don't know. Sonny Pa is not here. I was asking him, where is the paper of your project? That one, because he always says, oh, no money, no money. So this doesn't cost anything it doesn't cost money to do. So where is that paper? And many of us don't have that. Now, does Expensify have a paper, or every project out there? The answer is yes. And we're about to see that. Okay, so let's expand this. Even this is not in depth because it's asking permission to proceed with the implementation paper. So here it says I've researched Expensify and created a comprehensive implementation plan for. So it also revealed the tech stack. So this one now can work with the likes of Superbase, Postgres, Prisma. I'm supposed to talk about that because you may experience it when deploying, but maybe not within this video. When you've started building and you have questions, you can ask me. Let's say you are stuck. So now it's going to write an implementation, but it has started it, like here it says report builder. And this is also the flow of how they build the application, how they will organize the application. So you see a receipt scanner. Inside this folder is going to contain files associated with image upload, capture, automatic extraction of merchant data and amount, confidence stores for extracted data, manual correction interface. Now, if you go back in time, this was possible in the past, but not through programming. You would do this manually with an Excel sheet. Okay, user submits a form, then the information is extracted into an Excel sheet. That's exactly what is happening here but it's now more abstracted, and that's where the programming comes in. So anyway, so now if I were to build an app like Expensify and I were to use that free version, for it not to go out of hand, I would first of all work on a planning phase to develop a paper that fully describes the project. So let's just work with this one. I'm not going to, so that we don't we don't waste time. So I'll just copy this one. You can also do this with ChatGPT. But you can also do this and go from there. So let's experiment first of all with this. So we'll just give it a basic prompt. Build me a Tinder application specialized for Nigeria. A full interactive demo. I would like to pitch it to investors. So every page has to be built out and routing. I'll also talk about Web3 tools because there's so much you can build in Web3 to make money for those who want to make money. So I'll give you one example tool that somebody has built and is making a lot of money. If you want to pay for that, you would pay like $100 a month or $200 a month per user to be able to access the information that, so there are so many tools that you, like if you build, even for your personal use, you will start making money, let alone if you now provide it to others. Now, personally, when it's programming, I'm also learning programming. So another thing that will help you is learning the terminologies associated with programming. But if you don't know the terminologies, it's okay, because I believe in the African method where everything is exaggerated, expressive. So if I have to describe this icon here, with limited grammar, I would do it. By the way, you can also use voice, so you don't have to type if you don't want to type. You can click on the button here to dictate to it. So for most of them, you don't have to type if you don't want to type. I personally type. But let's say this button, like this logo, for example, at the top, I don't like the shape, the dimensions are not what I want. You may not have the grammar to teach the AI what exactly you are doing. Now, it's possible to learn it. You can take a picture of it, for example, give it to Chat GPT to tell you the terminology for it. That's improvisation. So you can do that. But you can also decide to describe it, improvise, try how good you are with expression and say, oh, I saw this icon on the top right, you know, the side of it is cut like, like describe it. That also works. So let's see. Now, this design is basic. So now, interestingly, it built this for, I don't know why it chose a mobile view. Uh, I don't know why it chose mobile view. You see, so that's it being proactive there. It has gone beyond the scope of what you want. Let's say our intention was to build let's say our intention was to build a web type of screen, but it's because of that basic prompt. You see the result of it. It's just very basic. Okay. But the good thing about Google is, I mean, this one that is free is it's proactive. So it gives you ideas to add. But sometimes you also don't want to follow it because you'd end up overloading the app with so many things. You would deviate from your vision, but anyone that is relevant to the app, then you can add it. So if I say style profile picture upload, add location and service prompt, add bio character count. This is not relevant to the app. So it looks like I would need to explain. It understands what Tinder is. So this one says add an edit button to the profile page that allows the users to modify their details. Let's just do this for the sake of the video. So what am I trying to get at here? If you wrote an entire, documentation, it will fare better in the final result. However, if you start like this with a basic prompt, then you would have to be tweaking it, gradually. Now the code is here. You can also push it to GitHub here if you want to, end up deploying it. You would have to sync your GitHub and then put it. But let's see the results. Okay. Now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you the same prompt, but we would use it on the other platform where I'm paying. Although you wouldn't pay when you are starting, you'll get free credits. If you use my link, you'll get free credits. But I would show you the same prompt on that platform. Then I'll show you the same prompt on Replit. Replit, you wouldn't need to pay; it's free. But your credit expires. You would have to wait the next day to continue. I would also show you the same prompt on Lovable. Lovable, I believe it gives free credits daily. So this way, you'll be able to gauge, what is what platform can do what. So anyway, this one, it's it's not very good with a basic prompt. It's obvious. So like now, for example, create account. This is still very basic. Okay, so this is like its profile, taking your profile. Okay, so you have to log in to see. So this is your bio. Just a moment. Picture. So it did something. This is actually Fiverr. So Tinder. The reason it built it mobile is because Tinder is likely a mobile app. So if you were to try this app on a phone, you may be able to swipe, left and right, but on a PC, you would have to click it. So let's just click like here, and you see it brought the next profile. So it fared well, even with a basic prompt. It fared well. Profile. Yes, so it's looking good. Let's implement the same prompt. So we will not go big. But before we do that, I want to paste that Expensify stuff we found earlier here. So you see, this one is more elaborate. Let's see what it will build. If it can build like the likes of Expensify in one shot. While this is loading up, let's experiment with that same prompt that we gave hmm, Google AI. Let's experiment with that same prompt on other platforms. So okay, so this is the prompt here. So first I would use let me use this one. I would just now the Vibe Code is very good for App Store. In fact, my first App Store app I'm going to be launching out of Vibe Code because it has everything you need to launch the app on App Store. I mean, it has everything you need to launch the app on App Store. It has database, it has API, it has paywall, all incorporated, and it has the tech stack. It's using Expo for mobile apps that will, quite guarantee your, approval on App Store. So this one is good, although there are others, but this will be what I'll use to launch my app on App Store. So this is how it will look. You'll be able to get your app on test flight, and tweak, give it to friends to test it out before you eventually launch it. So that's good. So you see all the sidebar here. If you want to add the ability for your app to generate audio, you want to add the ability for your app to provide all those videos, and you see the pricing here. So that's why I like this. So if you were to use a Nano Banana to create like an 8K visual, you'd pay 0.06 per request. So let's say you get your users to use your app, then they can pay say 10 cents. You'll be in profit already. Now they all have different capabilities. Nano Banana is good for images. Not all of them is good for images. So I've tested them all. The Nano Banana is the best. I've tested I've tested ChatGPT. They cannot bring about very realistic images, even though they are more expensive. So you see, this is 10 cents per request. This is 15 cents per request. This one, I've not tested this one, but I've tested a bunch of others. Nano Banana is the best because I'm building an app that will create thumbnails one click. I'm building it for my personal use because I have 7,000 videos, no thumbnails. So it will start as a productivity tool. Uh, so all the APIs are here. You don't need to go externally. Your EMVs are also here. So where you put your keys, that it's not exposed to the front end. So this one is very good for launching applications for App Store. So that's a side note there. Now, the application that I said earlier, I would not give it any feedback on the design, all that. Of course, you can do that. By the way, this can also build your automation tools. So that's a side note there. So I will not give it just exactly the same design. I mean, the same prompt. Now, if you want to go cheaper models, you can change so that it wouldn't cost you too much, assuming you have exhausted your credits. There are also ways to get free credits, by the way, but I won't talk about that in this video. So here you have Claude Sonnet 4.5. Then you have super fast and cheap. That's Claude Haiku 4.5. Older models, but cheaper. But for me, I'll just use this current one, Claude Opus 4.5. So we will see the difference. I just gave it the same prompt, no tweaking. So let's wait for the results. So this is all practical now. For this one, let's go back. Okay, so this one, create. So we are going web app. This one, you can also build mobile app this one, if you were to build mobile app, is going to be very easy because it has everything. So you see, build and publish your mobile apps to App Store. So if you're just getting started, you can use this. You can also use free credits. It's just that you'll have to wait day after day. So describe your mobile app, let AI agent build it and publish directly to the App Store, all from Replit. This one has everything that you need once again. So this is very good, and interestingly, it's free. So same prompt. Then Lovable, it's long time I used it. Let's try it again. So I just signed up on it again, and I saw I have free credit. I think they give free credits daily as well. So free credits, that's also a, when you end up building your app, that's an approach. Give value up front, such that they to further their productivity, they would end up paying. So ask Lovable to, let me see what options are here. So this one, you can also attach picture, which is good. So this one is very good. You can also connect design. Let's say you see a design of interest from Figma. So Figma is, there are platforms where they're already ready-made designs. They are welcome. You are welcome to remix them and all that. So if you can add them, oh, so you can, this is not Figma. Okay, so there are many things you can do. You can add database here. You can add, so many of them is super base. So that will just simplify the whole process. MCP, this one is a very good one. Like, let's say you want to create video, there are sites where you can find list of MCPs. It just simplifies everything. Like plugins of other, like we saw on ChatGPT earlier. So anyway, let's not digress. Plan before you build. You would have to enable this, ask questions. So this one is good because you can plan. So instead of wasting your credits, is you can start with this simple prompt here, then discuss with the AI agent. Okay, this is the general idea I have. I don't know how to proceed with it. Assume you are the most experienced CEO. You've made you've brought to life $10 million apps. How would you approach building this? This is my set audience, all that. So you do planning. You can also do that in anti-gravity. Start with a basic prompt and then elevate your idea. So that's good for this one. So, but I'm not going to plan here. Although maybe before the end of the video, I don't know, we may just experiment what I mean by planning. So let's just go. Hopefully it goes through because it just gave me free credits. Although to upgrade is not expensive, $20 or so for a month. So that's not expensive. So it's building. So let's just make do with just this. There are many other platforms. That's where you come in, research. Once you know there is something of one, there may be, like alternatives of it. So the more robust you go with your research, the better you are overall. So let's see this. This one, it gave it a name. It called it Ninja Swipe. So it knows it's context aware. Very quickly, you can see the IQ of the AI. So this one, it's context aware. It's even context aware of the demography of Nigeria. So he gave it a name, Ninja Swipe. So we'll see the final product of this one. Now, some limitations with this one is it likes to use its own SDK and all that. So you would end up having compatibility issues when you are deploying outside, like you want to deploy on Vercel and this thing, but you can deploy here. The only limitation if you're to deploy is that they've not added the ability to add your own domain name, but they said it's coming soon. So when that comes, this will be one click to deploy. You wouldn't need to worry about everything. Everything is on the sidebar here. Even seed, even database. I even use this for auth. Authentication is another issue that can be complex. So you just go to auth, enable database. It already offers that on inside of Vibe code. So you don't need to go into externally. So this is like for full stack apps, no external, no need to go external. That's where Vibe code falls in that category. You click on deploy and then you can deploy it. There you can also get the code. The code is here. So, and this is what is going on. And then you can learn because it will be telling you everything it's doing. If you expand this, you'll see how in depth it is compared to uh, the other one, and it comments all the code. Comments all the code. So design aesthetic direction for Nigerian Tinder app setup, design system. So this is how you would build an app yourself. Building onboarding and splash screens. So it's putting focus in the aesthetics of onboarding. That's what I can see superficially looking. It's building authentication pages, login and sign up. It's building profile flow, creation flow, main discovery page, building match list page, building chat messaging page. This is as proactive as can be. So, what is stopping you from building? If you have an agent that can do this, like with so much, so much intent and all that. Anyway, let's see what this. Hopefully, this can. It doesn't exhaust all the credits before it finishes. Lovable. Let's see, lovable. So this one, it calls it Ninja Connect. Features. So it's working on login. I would have to experiment with Lovable again. It's a long time since I did so. So sync your GitHub. You can easily push your code to GitHub. Publish. You can publish on a generic domain. Then you can add a custom domain here. Then I'm going to show you how to get your domain, your website online on your personal domain, and that will be how we'll end the video. So I'm going to show you that so that you can go ahead and implement after this video. Start with a basic application. Then I will show you some applications for building Web3 applications. That one is important because many of you here are also Web3 oriented. It's easier to build Web3 applications because you don't need many things. The storage is on the blockchain, authentication is a wallet. So it just removes all the complications. And many of the smart contracts, they are already there, the templates for them are already there. Those are under the hood. So mostly you need front end. So I'll show you applications to build your Web3. And with Web3, it's easy to get an audience, easier to get an audience than the public because everybody's looking for apps to use. So, like Yaki said, if there is an airdrop coming, you build an app for them, then you can also make money in Web3 if you can build apps because they have the capacity to find information real time. For example, if you incorporate AI or you incorporate a listener that listens to event on the blockchain, so it will be able to find, oh, there is an opportunity there. You as a human, you cannot. That's why you can make money. The making money in Web3 is guaranteed. If you create an app or a bot, that is guaranteed because to make money in Web3, the opportunities are there endlessly. The problem is you cannot teleport there. You cannot be omnipresent there. So you need something that will listen to the chain and find it and then react. So like prediction markets, people make a lot of money there. They find similar markets on different prediction markets, but with a disparity in price. They incorporate AI to establish whether it's the same market, whether it's the same exact market. Wow. So Replit is looking good in terms of UI. It's looking sharp compared um, to the Google one. Although the Google one, you can make it work, if you give it structure, but on the basis of just a basic prompt. Look at what you're having with Replit. And this was built for free, by the way. I'm using free credits. The only thing it will have is this made with Replit, which you can remove. And the interesting thing about Replit is you can already publish this without or any complication going externally. You can already have a working app already. You click deploy app. No. I will get to that. So let's see that. Start dating now. View success stories. Let's. Wow, this is not clickable. Login. Wow, this is not. Okay, it is, but it's delaying. So here it's saying Nanja Match would like to access your Replit account, verify your profile. So the auth is powered by Replit itself. So that's where this comes in. Wow. So this looks. Let me just see. So this is how it will look on mobile. By the way, I discovered something after maybe I've reached 1.5 in expenditure. Did I discover this? And this is going to help you a lot. It's going to help you a lot. I discovered that when you inspect element on the browser, let's say there are errors. So before now, I was reading the logs. I would provide it to Vibe Code, but because it's not able to access my browser, it cannot really detect the issue. Now, I've discovered after a lot of expenditure, when I was looking at errors in the log, that this tiny icon here is actually uh, AI powered by Edge. So if you are using Edge browser, it may be better because you have access to this AI that can read the logs and tell you what exactly is wrong. So that will make you not spend much money trying to figure out issues and all that. So soon AI will be in everything. So this is Copilot. I believe it's powered by Edge browser. I would assume that you see this error now. It will tell you exactly what is wrong, and it will even tell you what to tell the agent. So practical fix, remove duplicate injectors, ensure only one wallet provider script. So this error is not an error. It's an error because of my MetaMask. Or so you'd experience that if you are building Web3 application, there's some like there are some things that will not render because of your wallet. So you'd have to disconnect your wallet. Anyway, that's not, I just wanted to highlight this. It's going to help you a lot to be able to read the browser error in your console and know exactly what it is. Then give it to your cloud, your Replit. So that Replit is on cloud. The anti-gravity is on your PC. So it doesn't have, Replit doesn't have access to your browser. So it cannot really read the error. Now, if you give it this error as is, it will only be guessing, and many times it won't get it pinpointly what the error is. It will be trying to use experience, but sometimes it will not get it. So if you are able to use this AI to define it and give the resolution to your, like this place here, practical steps to the agent, then it will quickly solve it. So this is our app from and this looks good. Matches. So let's see. So it may not have information because I don't think it populated much information on it. Interestingly, it doesn't seem to have this. I can't tell whether it has the swipe. It may have, this may have swipe on a mobile phone. Chat not found, so it has not built all the pages. So for that one, you would have to prompt further. All you need to do is tell it to build the pages for chat and profile and route and the routing. So let's say close. Oh. Okay, so let's say the landing page looks good, but it needs more content. So let's say that we want to publish this. Okay, so let's say that we just stick to the name here, Ninja Match Uloggers. So it says a subscription is required. Navigate to accounts. So it looks like a subscription is required to publish. Let me see, just a moment. Adjust settings. Let's just experiment with publish. No, it doesn't require a subscription to publish. It's already published. Wow. So basically, this is the environment when you are publishing an app. If you are doing it by yourself, you know, it will likely have Vites that will know how to build. And you would see something like this. I would show you on Vercel. So it doesn't cost anything to publish. It's only that you will not get, you would have that Replit, what do they call it, watermark, and you would not be able to add your custom domain. So you would have something like, ninjaconnect.replit.com, but you can already share that with others. Let's say you want to have partners for your project and you want to, raise funding. Oh, this is what I'm building. Take a look. So this is just one click, one simple prompt, one click for basic. If you want to then build it to your taste, you can advance it. So that's that. I would show you the final product on a live URL. Let's look at this. So how much did it spend? I had $20. It spent. I have 17.36 left. Wow, interesting stuff. Yaki will like all this. So Ninja Love, find your person made for Nigeria, designed for love. Get started. I have an account. Let's say get started. Discover amazing. So this one, it's giving you a flow, onboarding flow. So connect with verified, continue, made for Ninja, continue, real. So this is called like a tour. You can also skip it. Create account. Uh, so I don't. I would have specified that it should. Although this will work if I try to log in, I would have specified that it should use like Google sign in auth just for simplicity, or OTP type of auth. I'll tell you about OTP. I don't know if it's relevant, but I also use it for some of my app. Logging in with OTP, you don't need password. It will send OTP. For that one, I use resend. Then if you want email digest, like it will automatically gather information from your site and send it out, you know, consecutively to users, to your email list, all that. Resend will also work for that. That's a side note, but I would have liked to let me just create a dummy let me just create a dummy test at Gmail just to see test. So you see that it has security in the auth. It wants you to stick to, let's see, test at 1 1. I hope, anyway, 8 characters at least. I think this is 8 characters. Continue. Wow. So this is how it's looking. Okay, this is like onboarding, telling you to set up your profile so you can add as many images as you want. It's added one image. So let's just do, okay, it's adding it for you. Interesting. Continue. Let's just do test. So Abuja. Wow. Uh, just a moment. No way. There is no way to skip this. Mm. So what are you looking for? Let's say friendship. Continue. Pick your interest. Cooking, reading, movies. Wow. Imagine seeing this and it's related to your own dream. Like you want to surpass Google and you see this in concept. I mean, conceptualize. It's as powerful as can be. So you would see the format of the application is also similar to Replit. It just kept it basic at the outset, but you can add many things. You can create an admin. Now this is specialized for mobile, so you can orient it for uh, web and all that. But this would fit the best as an App Store application. App Store, if you had to upload on App Store, $99 you would need for a dev account for 1 year. I think Play Store is like $30 or so. But you can deploy as many applications as possible. So that's that. Finally, let's look at lovable. So no project deploy found for the project. This can likely be by marking no preview deploy found for the project. This can likely be fixed by making an edit to the project. So add mingle app demo assets. Okay, so I don't know why. Likely because my credit has finished. So it says zero free credits remaining today. I'll send the video later. But okay, so I didn't even check the state of the stream. Everyone's battery has gone off. So only Yaki is here. Anyway, thank you. Anyway, it's possible to watch the video later on. Who said thanks, Terry? I don't know. Sorry, so sorry, I can't continue. Let's go. Oh, so there are some comments on YouTube. Hey brother, what are we going to build? I built a lot. I'll show you what I've built. Just contact me if you are ready to build and stuff. Let's go. Hi, sir. Umar, you were not able to join. I don't know if I sent you the link. It's all good. You can watch the video later on. Yaki, we're about to end the video. Not to worry. Apologies for the long time. We're about to end the video. Anyway, this one, credits are finished. So we could not see it. Let me just reload it. Okay. Okay. So it's loading. Get started. Next. Next. So this one, it also has some initiative. It knows about UI UX. So you see that it has the onboarding flow before the login. Interestingly, it's offering login with other auth options, Facebook, Google. So at least you can see the difference between them. Okay, go ahead. You have a question? Yaki.
Yeah. Okay. No. No. I don't have a question. I was like trying to mute my mic. I don't know. It was having some issues, but I saw all. You really opened my eyes today. I didn't know that Google have all these websites, the Google Lab, the Google AI Studio. I never knew all this thing existed. So even the labs.google. So I'm just going to take my time to like test some of them and see what works, and then start brainstorming on what I can build with them, because definitely it's making things easier to build now. And I like the colors, the templates that they are using. It's very unique, just like those your site, the Web3 wikis. I just love the color combination, the fonts, the
Yeah.
icons. It's something that once if somebody visits your website, or they will be like, okay, this was done by a professional, something like that.
Yes,
So
yes.
I
Please
I
test it for
enjoy
me. It's just 1 day old. So I've not even publicized it. It's the first time I'm publicizing it here because
the
I'm
the
still
Web3 wikis.
yes, yes, I'm still testing it. So I'm looking for a test.
Nice.
I'm looking for someone that will test all the features.
Nice. I think I will still. I don't know. Maybe we'll still make time to talk. I still have some things to ask or along the line, but definitely I will check out some most of the features that you have.
Yes,
I'll
and
check.
look into automation. Very important, especially these days. Automation, there's a lot happening in AI right now.
A
Even these
lot.
days, AI is employing humans.
Yeah.
So okay, so um, yes, I have a question for you very quickly. So, do you think I've given you 1 million?
Um, Based on the information,
Yes.
uh, I think information is priceless. I always like to acquire more information. Like, with the things I saw today, I feel like if tomorrow I get to use any of them and start building something unique, it was because of you were able to show me them, those things, and
Do you know why I
it's
ask? Do you know why I ask?
yeah. Why
Because
do you
I've
ask?
done many of these meetings with Nigerians. Because let me not talk about what I know of Nigeria, how I see Nigeria. You know,
Okay.
is the most powerful nation on earth, but people, you would want to doubt that. But I've done so much of these meetings with Nigerians. I've lost my health to these meetings and stuff like that. And one of the limitations I see is related to the question I asked you. You know,
Okay.
yeah. So if I didn't give, let's say I didn't give 10,000 in this meeting, it won't be realized the value of, this in reality is 1 million.
Yeah.
People don't know, people don't value it as such, but I know what this, if somebody came to me and give, because for example, me personally, I'm on a mission to surpass Google personally. Now if I were to surpass Google, let's say that's $1 trillion venture. And before now, I was clamoring for, oh, how will I sit down to start learning programming? I've lost my health. How will I, you know? And somebody came to me, consciously came to me. I was the one who contacted you. It means I'm thinking of you. I also
Okay.
asked you for a prospective application you would like to build.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
you
know,
did that.
yeah, I don't think all the, I doubt that anyone here was thinking of me in the same manner enough to contact me and say, "Oh, Terry, what are you doing?" But
Yeah,
not to
I
say
think
that.
I wrote you. I think I wrote you the last
No,
time. I was
I'm
like,
just, yes,
when are we having?
I'm just speaking just generically. I'm just
Okay,
speaking.
okay,
I want to build the relevance of this. Now, you may not know what it took me to make this conversation. I, imagine you may not see me as surpassing Google either, but I see myself as surpassing Google. That's $1 trillion person, for example. If I was
okay.
surpassing Google and I came to you, let's assume that it's already established. I'm surpassing Google. I'm $1 trillion person, and I came to you with this same conversation, and I ask you the same question. You will not think twice.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's something that limits Nigerians, especially Nigerian men of today. And I want to inculcate within this conversation. This conversation you are saying is not a vibe about vibe coding. I s- I reached out to men that will adjust this world, Nigerians particularly, with keen intention, attention over the course of time in relation to them before I. So there's a lot of intent to this, and I'm not a healthy person to. And I'm glad that you waited for the conversation because, you'd have opted out in the beginning when I was struggling, but it was a
Yeah.
struggle, So, uh, value value is based on is determined by what you. I don't know how to describe it, but I can give illusionary. I mean, not illusionary. If you give me one one, what coin can I use? Let's say there is Yaki coin. You gave me one of it. USD
Yeah.
value of it is USD value of it is uh $1. Me, I can give it value of 1 million and work with it as if it was 1 million. So that's what limits many people in Nigeria in this day and age. They become functionless, even within themselves, lose value because nothing in their pocket, for example, you know,
Okay.
and that deters possibilities. Everything you want to do, oh, I don't have money. There are so many third party barriers. Another third party barrier is Nigeria in their minds. Oh, Nigeria, there's no light. Oh, government will not accept this. Oh, they will laugh at, you know, uh, and besides that, your self belief as a Nigerian. So this is is a world adjusting message. This whole message, as disorderly as it is, I'm trying to pass a message to Nigerian men to resuscitate the grandness that is in them. I'm creating an entire project called Marlians. I've had Marlians domain for more than 7 years because I want to adjust Nigeria in many ways bring about confirmed Nigerians. If you only know what it means to be a confirmed Nigerian,
What do you mean by confirmed Nigerian?
uh, I wouldn't talk about it much in this conversation because it's already too lengthy. Generally, with all this conversation, if you've attended the past ones, I would spend 5 hours. And in fact, my
Hmm.
ambition to surpass Google is for Nigeria. Surpassing Google is just basically going against the system. And
Okay.
the only caliber of people that can do that and dominate is Nigerians. There is only one place in the world left where there is realities of the world, and it's Nigeria, that it
Um.
struggles to be whitewashed. So speaking of confirmed Nigerians, I'm talking of, it's very broad, but generally you would struggle to find a confirmed Nigerian today. For example, if I tell you that you are not a confirmed Nigerian, you will not be able to dispute it with proof. Do you want to dispute it that you are not a confirmed Nigerian?
Like the main point is I don't even understand like the word confirmed. Like, what do you mean by if I can understand what the confirmed mean, then I will now know what to answer or
No, no,
how
wait,
to.
wait. Let's take it basic. Forget suspicion of what it is. Just go basic. You are a
Okay,
Nigerian, are you not?
basically
Wait,
the
wait, wait.
word
You're a
confirmed.
Nigerian, are you not?
Yeah, I am a Nigerian.
Okay. Are you because if you're a confirmed Nigerian, there will be no doubt, there will be no bother about the context of it for a start. But let's go. You're a Nigerian, are you not?
Yes, I am.
You see the tone of that, it's instantaneous. Okay, are you a confirmed Nigerian?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. But that was not the outset of it. But let's agree that you're a confirmed Nigerian. Okay. So first off, what are you speaking? What are you speaking here?
I speak English.
Okay. Can you tell me what vibe code is in your native language?
Vibe code.
Yes, in your native language. What is your native language? Are
Igbo.
you
I'm
Igbo?
from Igbo.
Okay.
Yes, I'm
Okay, tell me
Igbo.
what vibe code is in your native language.
I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know what it's called in my native language.
Okay, so are you a confirmed Nigerian? I'm not going deep. I don't want to go deep into it. It's very deep. But even on that front, are you a confirmed Nigerian?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, but you're speaking English. You don't know what vibe code is in your native language.
No,
Yeah, are
the
you are
thing
you
is,
even are you even interested in your language? Do you know the
yeah, yeah,
power
I
of the
am.
language?
I am actually, but you see the thing. Before civilization came to Igbo land, there was nothing like writing codes. So,
Wait. That
words.
you're
You
you're
you
you're even you're further telling me that you're not a Nigerian because what is your definition of civilization? It's the definition of the West. You brought about civilization. Who told you that pounding yam is not civilization?
Oh, okay. Okay, I get your point. I get your okay. Maybe I used the
So
wrong word. But
no.
before
That's
the
the reality of Nigeria. You overlook. You would call your if you go to your farm in your village and you see red cloth, to the west it's just red cloth. But to you, you may have sleepless nights. You may not go to your village again. So
no, no,
you're
no, that's not the case. That's not the case for me. You understand? I'm not one of those that feels my ancestors are bad and then the whites are good. I don't feel that way. You understand?
so
Even
you're getting there. You're getting there. You're not
yeah,
a
I kind of
confirmed
even
Nigerian.
have an issue with the stuff they brought to us, like religion. I'm not a religious person. I, many things that they brought, you always kind of like take the good and then leave the bad out of it, because
Yes,
most of
and
these things are.
that is why you are in this call. Because me, I pay attention to people down to their spirit. All this conversation you see here, I was in the spirit mode. No preparation. If you go to any of my previous conversations, I'll spend 5 hours. No, I'm invested in the spirit. The old surpassing Google thing. I would show you what surpassing Google is. All all of the spirit. I don't resource existing material for the most part. Even my projects are like that. Now, there's a reason that I'm here. You know how we started on Twitter? I've not seen you before, and we
Yeah.
have stuck around. And there's a reason you are here today. It's because you are on that path to finding you're on that path to, do you know, if you look at all my projects, the paradigm to my projects is the P2P human is the end goal. A P2P human is a human that can transact and interact without third party authorization, influence, or permission. That is the thing that affects the Nigerian today. A Nigerian is a half human for the most part. In fact, most humans, almost 99% of the global populace are half humans. They are not yet in the caliber of a P2P human, meaning able to transact and interact without third party authorization. We're not an object of who we are, but we have a generic, a shared identity with the rest of the globe. Now, the reason behind that is because curriculums of studies today, we have a shared curriculum. So there was no curriculum specialized for the person of you in your grooming. So when you are not an object of a shared curriculum, you will be like the next person. Now, what do I mean a shared curriculum? Till today, your school, you are speaking Queen's English. Your school is the whole curriculum of your school is not of the African origin for a start. Now, it's possible to go through that curriculum and end up a confirmed Nigerian. How? If you are conscious about factoring in who you are into your understudy. But the way the curriculum is designed, it's designed to relegate who you are and elevate third party elements such as money, such as career, such as knowledge acquisition. So the typical Nigerian ends up being half human, functionless in society when they don't have paper money, which is a Western construct, in their pockets. And it's so embedded in their being that it brought us back to the question I asked earlier that started this conversation, that do you think I've given you 1 million? It's not, it doesn't take spiritual eyes or even deep thought to establish that. But the question is, what is your definition? Now, for example, you brought up civilization. What is your definition of civilization? What if, like I told you in many samples today, in many of the samples today, that though it's possible to push code to GitHub, I would still manually insert it. Why do you think that is? Because of the African in me, the grit, the grind. Now, they may bring a grinder to your hometown and say it's civilization, but you may still want to pound that. You may still want to pound that yam. Now, who says that you're pounding that yam is not civilization? And now, if you are not the one who says so, why are you adopting it? So that
Well,
is what we're talking about. Is a very broad topic that we cannot finish today. But in every ramification, many of Nigerians are not confirmed Nigerians. It's an evolutionary process. And first off, many Nigerians don't love being Nigerians, but they don't know that the world at large, it has reached a peak in terms of knowledge acquisition, in terms of innovation, that it will all return to Nigeria, to places like Nigeria, the down to earth spaces of Nigeria. What the world is building is outer space. Even in terms of knowledge, it's outer space knowledge. That's why with surpassing Google, I'm going to be documenting the notebooks. I'll show you what some of my cause to surpass Google. One of it is documenting the notebooks. And the notebooks contain the untolds, meaning everything not in the books. Now, who can document the untolds? Who in this entire globe do you think can document the untolds other than Nigerians? Because
well,
Nigeria is the only place in the
Nigeria
world.
is
Nigeria is the only
yeah, go on.
place in the world that you cannot document within the scope of English language. For example, you would need a local language to document Nigeria. Even so, you would struggle. It's not out of place that our forefathers did not document their history, because you cannot even cage it within the construct of English grammar. You would need a local language to do so. Besides that, you cannot document, you cannot write about Nigeria for example, you can leave the West through media. I can as well. I can adopt coding, I can learn coding, and but Nigeria, except you have lived Nigeria, you can never know it. Until today, is the only place on earth that Elon Musk can go to, and he can live with one kobo going back. The only place on earth that has those tenets of real life left, because everywhere else have adopted civilization so much. But Nigeria, in the core of Nigerians, there is that stubbornness that, if you look at Nigeria, even in relation to other African countries, you'll see the difference in terms of grounded to the tenets of what Africa is. Nigeria is the only one that is remaining, but it's becoming whitewashed gradually, because now there is TikTok, there's only one generation left to guard what is left of Nigeria. And the value proposition of Nigeria is greatness. It's not illusionary skyscrapers. That's the value proposition. And there's nothing wrong with skyscrapers, but you are a more empowered human if you have a hybrid when it comes to perception, when it comes to knowledge. So you have a cumulative of the outer space knowledge, courtesy of the books, and the down to earth knowledge, courtesy of the no books. When it comes to your view of your measure of nation, it's good to have, an experience of the skyscrapers and the dirt roads of Nigeria. You're a more empowered being as such, because while Mark Zuckerberg can program in his aircon only, and if you put him on top of chuku chuku to program, he will be crying for mom's help. You can do both. You can program in the aircon, and you can still do it on top of chuku chuku without light, with minimal network on top of a tree. So I don't know if you get the gist. It's a very broad topic.
Yeah.
Under the hood of this topic is my plot to surpass Google. The only knowledge that the world lacks today is knowledge from the down to earth spaces of Africa. You can see it. AI is the peak. After that, they will try human clones. After that, it's over with when it comes to innovation. What will happen then? The world will return to the down to earth, to seek knowledge in it, because it has already exhausted what is of outer space. It will now return to the down to earth. It's already happening. The diasporas are going there. The West is in your villages, the villages that you are afraid of. Many of us are afraid of the villages. The West are there. They are mining it. They know your motherland more than you. And when it comes to
Yeah.
this,
Yeah. For
deeper,
those who don't know, yeah.
fellow brother, you would love even in the crypto space, I see it. Everyone is venturing in airdrops, trying to do the bidding of the West. Where are the Africans when it comes to builders? If they have to go and showcase Africa, Nigeria, for you wouldn't
Wiki,
even you wouldn't
have you
even
seen
back
my deep
you wouldn't
have
even
you seen
back your brother's
my
project.
ex profile pic?
Let me go and check.
Yeah, just take a look at it. Then you will know the kind of person I am.
No, no, I'm talking in general. I'm not lambasting you. I'm just talking in general,
Right.
but I'm talking in a way that it will thought provoke, not in particular. I talk like that at times, so that who it applies to, it will
The
incite them.
people,
It
yeah.
will, yes, and Nigerian men should be ready for that type of talk, because that is the only method you can use for a Nigerian child. Baby is not the same as an Oyibo baby in terms of stubbornness, in terms of different caliber. So you need strong hand even for a baby. But the things they can handle, the West adult cannot handle it. So I'm not doing it with from a place of like no too much or no. I'm just talking to a fellow brother, and I'm showing with a tone of pertinent, like to show the urgency of this. There's only one after your generation. you, I'm sure you are seeing Nigeria now. It's not, me. I'm not young. I look young, but I know what my generation is compared to what it is now. Then look
Are,
further, one generation away. The only value
are you
proposition of
are you
Nigeria.
in your 40s?
I'm approach in a few days. In a few days, I'll be there.
Wow.
So
Wow.
where are you?
I'm in my early 30s.
You are getting there. So it's time to take action. That's why I called you. Where you till do you know that till today there is not one in the whole world. We are talking. You talk confirmed Nigerians. There is not
Yeah.
one in the whole world. I will give you a task. Now, I've not done any research, but I can guarantee you that, and that's why I created Marlians. There is not one truly African innovation in the whole world till today. I'll give you an assignment. Go and spend how long you want to research and give me one innovation. First of one innovation that is truly African. And if you can give me one right now, I'm going to dispute it on the spot, whether in crypto, anywhere. Truly African innovation in the whole world. You know me,
Innovation in what sense? Technology
it
or
can be
what?
app, anything. It can be app, it can be anything, even if it's car, even if it's an app. Meanwhile, we are supposed to be able to bring it out of the snap of your finger.
Well,
Look
we
at
have had
crypto, for
boys.
example. Look at crypto,
We
for
have
example.
Yeah, we have had
You have
boys
like
who built things like Paystack. Um, there have been lots of innovations because I think back then it was just InterSwitch that we had, and
mention mention one.
payment.
Huh?
Sorry,
Mention one. Mention one.
I said like Paystack. Paystack is a good innovation.
No, but I'm saying truly African innovation.
Okay, you mean by like Africa culturally or what?
No, okay, okay. Let me explain. So you say you want to
Yeah.
build Tinder for
No.
Nigeria. No, just sample wise, just a sample.
Yeah.
If I were to build Tinder for Nigeria, you will know it's Nigerian. It will be truly African. How so? You look at this application superficially, but what guards an application is the paradigms, the algorithms. You may not see it as an end user, but if you have like a founder orientation and the intent to adjust the world, you'll quickly see it. Like me, when I look at programming, for example, one of my projects is called Macro Hard, and it's going to build a programming language in a local language. The paradigms, the nuances of it is all you know, deeply African. And I'll explain how I mean. Okay. And once I explore, that's why you see, oh, I paid $2,000 to explore this different. It's not because of, it's just because of me trying to understand the truest state of the world. That's why I've done 7,000 videos about Web3. I've explored more than 1,000 applications. I've uncovered thousands of applications on App Store. I've done You cannot count it in terms of grind, because for me to surpass Google, for me to know, I have to know the truest state of the world, and that involves venturing into it. They say wait till the end of the tunnel to find light. I entered the tunnel to find out that there is no tunnel after all. They say poverty is the problem with the world. I found out that not a human is truly capable of exhibiting poverty. It's the human shine that has been pummeled into redundancy. All you need to do is wake up the human shine, which I'm doing in this video. I'm not doing this video to tell you go and do this or do that. It's to trigger that human shine that is redundant in you, to to enliven you again, because the world is programmed to elevate third party elements like money and relegate humans in perpetuity. Humans in today's world are statistics for the most part, subjects of a rat race. You have to relinquish your human to enter into a rat race, to pursue money that is not yours. Now, that money is a Western construct. It doesn't have your face on it. It's not your money. You would have to pursue it. Any money that is your money, you will not have to pursue it. It will want to come to Papa because your face is inscribed on it. So the solution to money is creating your own money with your own identity. Stamp your face on it, and you will not have to pursue the resulting money. But we come here, we find generic stuff, and we adopt it. Now, going back to a truly African innovation. Now, is this an innovation modeled with you and me, modeled such that it takes cognizance of you and me? The answer is no. When you check the model of it, and I'll give you a simple example. Okay, so uh, I don't know Paystack and its inner. I don't know Paystack. I can't really envision it now. So let's use an application that you and I know of, that you may think it's okay. It's a Nigerian. It's a truly African innovation. So the
Mm.
first question I will ask, uh, uh, if you were to create, because let me tell you the model of a Western application. The model of a Western application, it's modeled. It has predicted that half of the world is poor. Remember what I told you, that not a human is capable of exhibiting poverty, because in modeling out my own innovation, I have to relegate that notion that half the world is poor. So the model of a typical Western innovation, however complex it is, however geeky the founder is, and it's not because they're bad, it's because they don't know. That is where Africans come in. But Africans are not truly Africans. They've adopted the West. So there is a disconnect there where you and me can come in. So the typical Western innovation, however complex it is, this is the model of it. First off, it predicts that half of the world is poor. Then there's a reward distribution mechanism powered by money. And we all know money, if you are in the crypto world, we all know that money is centralized, monopolized. So it has its own unique algorithm, which is a rat race. Now, now a rat race is befitting for rats and bots only, not humans. But humans usually enter it if they want to pursue money, because you have to abide by the algorithm of money if you want to get it. I'll explain that in a bit. Now, uh, now the notion of a Western innovation, especially when it's monetized, is that half of the world is poor, and they will try to pillage the reward pool. So let's protect the reward pool. So that now forms even down to the governance system of an application, the morality of an application. It's about protecting the reward pool from humans who are bound to pillage it. And in the prediction, who is likely to pillage the reward pool? They would bring up third world countries. Now, I don't believe in all those notions, all those labels. They will bring up third world countries. Who are in the third world countries? Of course, Nigeria will be on the list, and a few other countries. Now, they'll create something called a blacklist. Of course, there will be a whitelist. Now, this is the core of most innovations. Who will be in the blacklist? Yaki, who do you think will be in the blacklist?
You said that Africa, Nigeria would be in the list, and definitely Nigerians will like some even our fellow people out there, they see us as we are poor and all that. I know most of these people like Mr. Beast, they call whenever they come to Africa, they always go into the poorest areas trying to do boreholes and all that. I don't know why they keep painting that picture, you know.
Okay. Okay. So you get the gist now. That is a Western, that is the core of a Western innovation. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. That's why we call it outer space innovation. There is room for it in this world. It's convenient, it brings comfort, it brings productivity. But you are more empowered when you also are aware of the truly African innovation. But where is it? It doesn't exist. That's why I'm bidding to surpass Google, to build some of it and to inspire others to build it. Now let's come to a Western, an African innovation, the ones that you know. Now I don't know Paystack, but in general. Now, yes, on the surface, it is an African innovation. Let's say it's called African China, for example. But under the
Okay.
hood, the algorithms guarding it, the paradigms guarding it, is it truly African? Do the innovators of those applications know what Nigeria is? Are they confirmed Nigerians? And the answer is no. You are an object of the West. So when you build innovation, even though on the surface it's a Nigerian innovation, in under the hood it's not, because if you check any of these Nigerian innovations, if they put a blacklist there, which they will likely put, who do you think they will put in the blacklist? Will they put Mark Zuckerberg there?
No.
Who will they put? That is
I,
Nigeria now. Nigeria making an app. And let's say they say, oh, we are bringing up a blacklist and a whitelist. Who do you think they will put
it,
in the blacklist?
they will still put Nigerians in the blacklist.
You see? So that's what that now speaking of money, me, I'm creating a cheaper than free economy, a model that relegates money in society and elevates humans. I'm going back to the barter system, which was native to Africa for the most part, in the way I model my reward distribution. Now, the reward distribution mechanism, is it freshly innovated? That money, is it an African construct?
No.
Let me tell you the African money system that it still exists till today, that it's only obtainable in Africa, in Africa. In Nigeria, I don't know your condition now, but I know Nigeria more than, you know, I would say I may know Nigeria more than Nigerians. I will tell you
Okay.
why. Yes, I will tell you why.
Okay. Why?
In No, eventually I'll tell you why, because I was able to look at Nigeria without third party influence. I was able to look at Nigeria of my own volition, not with, because Nigeria, you can't look at Nigeria except you are conscious about, you can't see Nigeria clearly for what it is, its greatness, except you are doing it without third party influence. What is third party influence? The West, the media, money, so you can't have a clear view. If you want to have a clear view, and I'm giving you this as a gist, if you want to pursue greatness, you need to become a P2P human, relinquish all third party elements, overcome them. So in my development, I had to overcome so many third party elements, including food, money. My first earnings in crypto was 500,000 without a dime. I didn't have a dime. And it's historically proven where I started earning my money is there. It's on a blockchain platform. It's there. I didn't have a dime. I was alone where I am at now, alone, no dime, and I did not touch it. I didn't spend it. Till today, I'm the only one in Web3 that don't have historically, I don't have like an Excel sheet. I don't you've seen me that you're telling me to sell crypto. Now you are knowing where it's coming from. Because I believe
But
from the
I still feel like you let a lot of money waste. Like even if you don't have need for it, like you could have just gifted
I
it
have
out to
need.
your followers.
I have need for it, and I gifted it out for my viewers. I lost my health to Nigerians. I used to
Okay.
be Yes, I used to be a bot. They used to call me a bot. You can go to Steam it and look for surpassing Google. They used to think I am a bot in the things I used to do as a human being. That I lost
No.
my health. That I lost my
Obviously.
health to You can even type surpassing Google, you would see many write-ups of, many of them Nigerians. And if I build an app, when I built an app in the past, all my audience is from the West. So that's what I'm talking about. You say truly African innovation. Okay, let me tell you another epitome of a Western innovation, which, why I'm telling you this? Is not to bash the
Yeah.
West. The West is great. There is no way you cannot marvel at their accomplishments. I'm just talking about Africans representing themselves in the world. They are nowhere to be found till today. I want you to do research, and when you bring the project, I will tell you how it's not truly African. I will tell you how it's not truly African because that founder, if he sees you today, you cannot speak grammar. He will downplay you. You doubt me,
Okay, what you're trying to say is like for something to be truly African, it goes down to um our like our culture being in it, our originality being in it, like
quite.
nothing from the Western world is should be integrated in it. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, no. The West can be integrated in it, but the paradigms, the core of it, the let me okay. It should not, it should elevate what exists of you. It should lead you to the best version of you and not relegate, remove it from the equation. Okay, let me tell you about the West, the Western innovation, even down to school. There is nothing wrong with it. But the way it's modeled such that you are no longer in the equation, whether it's education, whether it's money system. So let me explain. Trade by barter, even till today, in the money system in Nigeria, you are in the equation. How? For example, you don't have money. Do you know that if I was in Nigeria now, I come to
Yeah.
you, yes, I come to you with the conversation I've had today. I don't have one kobo and you have 100 naira and I will not give you anything and I will collect your 100 naira. Do you know that? That it's possible just basic on the basis of conversation. Oh, I meet you today. Yaki, how are you doing? Like, let me inspire you. What are you doing today? Just this conversation we've had. Then I'm about to leave and I say, oh, see, I don't even have 100 naira. I don't even have one kobo. I mean, what? Do you have anything on you? And you say, it's
Yeah.
only 100. Oh, boy, give me now. And you will give me. Do you believe so? Is
Like
that not
I can
sustainable?
give you if I have more than that, like if I can afford to let you have it, yes, I will.
But you can
You
also give
understand?
100 naira. It's 100 naira. You can also give 100 naira, even if it's the only thing. Let's assume you are older than me, and let's say I'm 21 and you're in your 30s. And I came to you. Me, I know Nigeria now. If you go to canteen now, you see your younger brothers there. They are hailing you. Oh, yaki, yaki, yaki. Yeah, you will not pay for their meals. It's in the
Bro,
construct
we
of the African society.
see. Okay, let me speak for myself. Let me speak for
Okay.
myself. We are surviving in this country. You understand?
You need
Um.
to change that. That's why you need to adjust that. That's the essence of this
Okay.
conversation.
See, the thing is, you don't stay over here. You don't stay over here. I'm just telling you the reality of what we have here right
You
now.
don't know Nigeria more than me. Oh.
Okay,
You
but
don't know
wait.
Ni- you don't know Nigeria more than me.
System is being set up here, bro.
Me, I
Whether
don't
you
run
go to
away. I
school,
don't run
whether you
away.
come,
I don't run away from hardship. Oh. If there is hardship, I'm entering there. I told you I entered the tunnels. I don't fret from it. I want to discover it and translate it into things of good. I'm one of the most
now,
suffered persons on earth. But
bro.
you will not.
See,
Okay.
in this conversation, you from what you were saying, you say you have spent, I think, $1,500 trying to build stuff and all that. Here, $1,500 is like more than 2 million.
Okay.
For a normal person here, that okay, you have big dreams, you know that okay, this country is messed up, and then you don't want to start working 9 to 5. You need to achieve something, you need to build something, bro. You can't even see the funds to even to build what you want to build, to even have access to the tools that you need.
Okay, I'll give you Nigerian example. I'll give you my own example in Nigeria. Are
Okay.
you ready? Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
because
go on.
Yes, you're not the only one I invited to this conversation. I
Sure.
invited like 10 people. Many of them, the reason I invited them to this conversation is for the same reason. Like I said, it's a shared curriculum, a shared identity. Who told you that you are poor? It's the West. It's not you. A typical African is not poor. It's just that you won't exhaust your resources. You won't go to your farm now and go and till the soil. Your dad may have land. You will not dare do that because you have adopted Western civilization. There are so many capabilities you have as an African. You will never undertake it for forming sake, all on the basis of the West. There are steps you will not take. You cannot go to a bank manager now and tell him to give you the key of the vault. I can do it. So don't the money that you are talking about, that is another illusion that you have, where you say the West, where you say you spend more than me in a month. Even if I've spent 1,500 in a month, the money that I personally spend is not up to $10 in an entire month. I don't have a dime in my pocket. A dime. So yeah, you say 1,000 is about priorities. It's about how you foresee money. That money, I see it as just mentally speaking. Now, speaking of you in Nigeria, let me tell you the things that deter you from getting money. By the way, I'm starting all over again. You may not know that. And we're living in a country where the concepts available in Nigeria are not here. You cannot live here for 1 month. It's a month to month country. It's not like Nigeria where you can pay for stuff for a year, where you can negotiate, where you can get. I told you you will give me 100 pesos, or let's say you give me 50 pesos. It doesn't exist in the concept here. When you want to pay rent, you will have a check. It's a blank. The money is written on the check. They will just go there. They go there. They don't find the money. They will go there again. You'll end up with a negative balance. There's no support system. You can't. I've not seen fellow humans. I don't visit anybody. And this December to January, I used all my money. I don't know if you saw. I went to on a holiday to go and resolve for the battle at hand, to be able to start all over again. So right now, and this money that I told you I'm using, that those are my last money. I'm using it up to be able to start, to be able to go to no funds and start from the beginning. I've done that so many times consciously. Now, why is that? Because I eliminate third party fears. Many of the things you mentioned are all fears that they don't exist. One of the things that Nigerians have problem with, and it always come up in the conversation, is Nigeria. The moment you remove that, you'll be making $1 million the next year. Another fear is money. Those There are so many things obtainable in Nigeria. If I was in Nigeria today, what would I do? If I was in Nigeria today,
Yeah.
you have first off your family members. Do you value Nigerians? Don't value fellow Nigerians. If Mark Zuckerberg came to you now, oh Yaki, go and find $100, go and get my course ASAP. Mark Zuckerberg himself message you, go and find $100. You don't have one kobo. You are going to find the $100. You will not even do that for yourself. You will be sitting
I,
idle making complaints.
I, it's not even Nigerian. For example, if Mark Zuckerberg comes to tell me go and find $100 for my course, I would be like, man, you're a billionaire already. You understand? Why do you need my $100? You understand?
That's not going to
Like,
be your reaction.
see, my earlier years, I bought lots of courses. You know, when you get to a point whereby you now have information overload.
Okay.
You just have a lot of knowledge and less actions. And it got to that point, I was like, I'm not going to buy any fucking course anymore. Sorry for the word. But I was like, I have enough information. All I need is to just act on them. And that was the day I stopped buying any course, no matter who you are. If
So
you like,
do you remember the beginning of our conversation?
yeah,
Implementation. That's another thing lacking by Nigerians. Implementation. We have information out there. We don't exhaust it. We don't implement. So things to work on. That's why I'm bringing it up, because I'll forget. So let's work on implementing going forward. You have information overload. I can adjust the scenario. That may not be the perfect scenario, but if Mark Zuckerberg came to now and he said, okay, go to my office in my branch in Nigeria, let's say assuming Mark Zuckerberg is selling cars, tell them to give you a car, and it's Mark Zuckerberg himself that contacted you, you would have an inclination, even let's say you doubt it or you eventually don't go, but there will be a strong inclination. Oh, that Mark Zuckerberg is telling me there is a testimony of possibility. Let me go and try it. But on your own, you will not venture into humanly exhaustible actions for an entire lifetime on your own. Or if someone like me, a fellow African, tells you so those are the things that I'm talking about, that we doubt our value as Nigerians, and the reason is because our standard of value is of the West. So for example, if now let's not talk you now, because you may not, it may not apply to you. I said that you are evolving, you are no longer young, you're approaching 40, so you're evolving. I'm sure your eyes are opening to things, but generally, is the standard of success for a Nigerian is money. Generally, money.
Yeah,
And
that's
if
true.
yes, and if they were to buy clothes now, they will not come and look for Yaki shirt. They will go and look for Versace. And who are they going to booga with that Versace? Is their fellow brothers. So now, first off, Nigerians lack conviction in their own value. Now, when you lack conviction in your own value, you will doubt possibility in someone who is like you. So your fellow brother. So your fellow brother now come, oh, I'm building this app. It's not the same zest. Oh, I have an airdrop. I'm building an app. You even doubt your brother that maybe he wants to scam you. You go there. If Nigeria, when they were doing COVID, and Nigeria is going everywhere to do immunization and flaunting it on Facebook. Oh, I just did my immunization. If a Nigerian did that immunization, will you take it?
Uh, definitely, definitely, I'm not
You're
going to.
laughing.
But
Yeah,
then
like,
I didn't even take like the
yes,
COVID
yes.
own. I didn't even take it. Like, okay,
I
let me
just
just
give
put
you
it
a
this
general
way.
term. I'm not doubting you. I'm not doubting you at all. I'm
Yeah,
not even talking to you.
I understand what you're trying to say, and it happens a lot, majority, because the reason is, for example, people keep holding on to colonization for their issues, that this and that. But I'm like, these people left you how many years ago? And even though they still try to play politics, with the corrupt ones that we have here, Africans are the reason why Africans are not moving forward. Let's take Nigeria, for example. Election, we will have election, presidential election next year. We have a candidate called Peter Obi, who is way more qualified and younger and active and sharp.
Based on
But
what?
then you will still
Based
have
on
you will still have
based on what?
people who are celebrities still campaigning for an old man who keeps falling all the time, who is not working, just because of corruption, just because some billions has been sent to their bank account. That's the issue we are having in Africa. Africa is its own problem. Until the mindset, this thing changes, nothing is going to change in Africa.
It's deeper
And
than that, bro.
for me,
It's deeper than that. Because
you
let
said,
me it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. But we will it's going to be solved. Let me tell you the solution to Africa is just very simple. If you want to understand everything, you just need to go to the basics. You need to go to history. If you want to understand religion, all that, you need to go to history. That's something we don't do. And even if we do, we don't have access to history because we didn't write history. All that exists, much that exists of history was written by the West. We didn't value. That's why I'm doing this live stream now. Why am I doing this live stream? Over Google Meet. I document everything. I've written 19,000 publications because I cannot replicate this. This is me documenting a piece of history, also for generations yet born. And though I'm doing it on a centralized platform like YouTube, that's why I'm on Web3. That's why I'm in Web3. Okay. So the solution to whatever is the problem in Africa, which there is no problem, that's the basics of it. That's the basics of it, is thinking that there is a problem that doesn't exist. You would not find the right solution. So I say this, when there is no issue, for example, they say poverty is the issue, the right tissue is not reward distribution, because poverty is never was never the issue. I'll explain, just be patient. So many of the problems with Nigeria is not a problem, but again, we are not confirmed Nigerians. That's why we see it as a problem. Many of the problems in Nigeria are non-problems. For example, the example of let's resolve the example of poor, for example. Is that really an existent problem in Nigeria? The answer is no. It's just that we're not in the caliber of our forefathers, of our parents, not even our forefathers. Go and see what our parents did, and in the era they did it. And that time they didn't have. Do you know the luxury of having this vibe coding, this AI now? Do you know the luxury of it? The question is, what are you going to do with it implementation wise? And if 10 brothers do the same, and these 10 brothers are fans of each other, there will be no mention of government. Government will be negligible. You are 30 something. As you are 30 something, I can tell you that as a Nigerian, and that's why I say there you wouldn't find true Nigerians. If you know what true Nigerians is, highest caliber of love, highest caliber of love, because they are not supposed to love. But if I come to your house now, I'm going to eat, even if it's red oil rice with crayfish. You don't know what Nigeria is. You are thinking, oh, we are living in the. When you go to the West or anywhere, that's where you will know what Nigeria is. Down to the food. You, if you, do you know what Nigeria food is? Food is one of the is something that I had is one of the most world adjusting thing there is. It's also at the bottom of all the problems of the world. Food, down to nature. You see how they they food is like everything. They can eat from now till tomorrow, mate while eating you, no mercy. So one time soon, your eyes will be open, and this conversation is going to spark it. It's recorded. I'm doing this for legacy, for whoever will hear it. You know, anyway, going back, if we talk about, yes, I gave you an example. For example, this AI now, you have, okay, you didn't call me, I brought out the information, you know, then you implement. Of course, you are lacking in implementation. You go and build an app. Now your app is truly African. Now, what do I mean truly African? Besides just uh, execute simulating the culture and all that, it factors in the African people and intentionally incites them to evolve. For example, my app, you'll see that I put a vibe coding portal there so that people can visualize what's possible if they want to build their dream. It's not a complete builder on Web3 wikis. It's just something that will, so it's model. Then I'm unlocking Web3, which is a simulation of the true African society, which doesn't exist today. But Web3 is a simulation of it, unknown to all the Nigerians in Web3. They don't know what Web3 is really. So I say, okay, if I unlock this knowledge, remove all barriers from this knowledge, reveal exactly what it is, it's going to empower millions of Africans, even generations yet born, because now they know that there is a world that is peer to peer. You don't need third party authorization to exist. You can do your thing without fears of lambasting and all that. You can, stuff like that. So I figured if I unlock this is a very powerful walk of life to unlock. And so I decided to unlock it with 1,000 videos in order from start to finish, without health, without good eyes. Nobody in this world can do it. Only an African can put that level of grind. Do you know what Web3 is? To put the videos, the topics in order from start to finish. I'm on video number 240 something or so. Each video is 30 to 1 hour long, and I'm going 1,000 in order from start to finish. Who do you think I'm doing that for? For the West? They know about this, they innovated these things, but there are aspects of its capability that they cannot figure out. It's only the Africans that can. Now, when you talk truly African, it's one that will take cognizance of the African society to incite them to empowerment. So if I were to create a money, what is my money? My money is called teardrops to reward proof of tears. What is proof of tears? Activities that mine the human, where not money is not money you are mining, it's not precious stone you are mining, the human. That's why I created ulogs. What is ulogs? It's neither a blog nor a vlog. Blog and vlogs are Western constructs. Ulog is down to earth. It's a new type of a new type of content that doesn't reference third party. It's an excerpt of you created fresh per instance. Now, why did I do that? When you keep starting to document stuff from your innermost self, you will uncover your innermost self, and then you would reveal it to document history. That's lacking in Africa. Right now, you don't have, I doubt you have documentation, and most of your documentation on X will be shaped to favor the standards of the West, to favor the standards of a blog or a vlog for the end, the ends meet, which is money. I'm just talking in general when it comes to airdrops, for example. So it's not an excerpt of you, your innermost self, which is powerful, which I'm hearing in this conversation. Very powerful stuff I'm hearing in this conversation. But even you, if I tell you now that I know you more than you know yourself, you will doubt it. But I know you more than you know yourself. If I tell you now to write a 10,000 word publication about Yaki, you can't. But out of this conversation we've had, I can. And I will write it to correctness, at least 70%. Now, there is reasons for that, because in many cases you are not an object of yourself. So now that's so-called money issues. That's where it starts. First off, put money in the same caliber. For example, let your reaction, that's why I say third party, transact and interact without third party authorization. What does that mean? I give you a scenario. I have $1 and I have $500,000. My behavior is going to be the same. My ventures will be the same. 1,000, your greatness should not be an object of circumstance. Oh, you can be great in in the West, then Nigeria you cannot. That's why you hear the conversation. Oh, Nigeria is the issue. Is this? If you are great, you are great. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter the location or the, and are you great? The answer is yes, but it's just redundant, pummeled into redundancy by circumstance and the curriculums of the West that cage you. Now, how is the curriculum of the West structured? You will see it even if you go and read programming language, you will see it immediately. It's just lack of knowledge of the entire globe. You know, generally the West builds innovation for the West. So it factors in the Western being, the systems of the West. Okay, slap this person, call 911. That's not the system of Africa. Because somebody can slap you, you eat the slap. Oh, maybe this guy is a son of Mopo. Or someone can slap you, you eat the slap. Oh, my spirit says I should not retaliate. That those concepts don't exist in the West. So when they want to innovate, they innovate within the premise of their perception of humanity, which is guarded by a binary, which is the why you see when you see social media, you'll see like and dislike. But in an African society, there are other parameters to human behavior besides like and dislike. You cannot hear someone in the West saying, "Oh, my spirit told me to do so." You cannot hear someone in the West like swearing for somebody and believing that it will catch the person. There is no
Yeah.
representation of the Western modalities in any innovation today. Now, speaking of the West, the African modalities, the money system in Africa, even though you embrace the paper concept, it should retain some Africanness. How do I mean? And it does retain some Africanness, especially in Nigeria. Back to our example, I said that if I came to you now, let's say you have 100, okay, agreed, you are surviving. But in the Nigerian society, your spirit can tell you to give it. It exists. Even though you didn't want to give it, you are reluctant, you'll end up giving it the entire 100. But let's say you gave 50. Now, what happened in that transaction? That is not a typical transaction. That is a factor of me in the transaction. So, what the West does when it comes to innovation and every walk of life is they remove the factor of you, because it's favorable for the West to turn you into a statistic, because you become easily programmable and you become a perpetual consumer. So, if they keep you in the premise of a like and dislike, then you are easy. When they bring out analytics, very easy. They are only indexing two possible situations, two possible responses from a human, and that's what guards governance. If you go and look at governance of blockchain, like and dislike, if you go and look at society, the standard of success, it's money or no money, two possibilities. The whole different color of the world, I don't believe in colors, but the whole different color of the world, they tie to black and white, two extremities, and you can sell product to each extremity. If Beyonce bring a soap now, say, oh, brown skin girl, the whole that is the Western system. It's modeled to guard the reward pool on the prediction that humans will want to pillage it. Now, where are innovations that represent the African system? It's important that every society have that, so that the world can evolve with more balance on the basis of hybrid knowledge. Now, the world currently is evolving mostly on the basis of Western knowledge because they also neglect their own, but they will strongly say that they embrace it, but they don't, because for example, the example you gave, you said, oh, Peter Obi is fit for the job on the basis of what? Western standards.
No, not really,
You
because
say
when he
not
was a
really.
governor, no,
What is the
when he
government?
was
The government system, democracy, is it African?
okay,
What is
if
democracy?
you're okay, you're speaking based on that aspect, but that's the world we live in. Even though it's from the that's whether we like it or not, someone will be there as the president. So why not just make the best out of it? You understand?
Okay, yes, but I'm not talking about that now. Bringing us to another problem with Nigeria. That's why I said there is no problem in Nigeria. We are very passive, although, and it's getting worse. So that's where me and you needs to come up. We meet things, we just embrace it. We're not interested in ourselves. Like Jesus, before he came to earth, he was interested in humans, studying them from above till when it's time. I'm just giving a general example. You are not interested in your fellow humans. You are not interested even in our family members. You are not invested in them. What do I mean? Do you know what the West does to you? They know you more than you know yourself. They are interested, even if they monetize it, but they are interested. They put cookies in your browser. They know your browsing history. They know you when you checked into to to Starbucks, and you show it on your profile to Buga, your neighbor. That's why they dominate in Africa. That's why they targeted Africa, because they know the Africans. They study. They are so invested in you. But you're first off, you're not invested in yourself. You don't know who you are. Then when you are when then you become too predictable, because your standard of everything is of the West. So you conform within the binaries they've created. So you like, you dislike, you don't there's no third party possibility. Your essence, you limit it to those binaries. Your standard of success, you tie it to money. You become functionless without money. In the generations past, look at our parents. They will go to Lagos, even if they have to trek, walk. They were walking in the bush barefoot. They will end up in Lagos, not know anyone, then end up abroad by themselves. No language, no nothing, no internet. Now, because we have all the comforts from the West, we cannot do the basics that we normally do. I told you, I gave you an example of GitHub. Oh, you can push it easily. What happens is you will quickly adopt that. And what are you favoring? You are favoring the West that is studying you. So they know, this person, if he sees this button, he's going to click on it. Then you limit your essence. You relegate your human to nothingness because it's not in the equation anymore. Anyway, let me leave it at that. I'll be ending this video now. For anyone who joined, please, grab inspiration from this. This is not is a generic talk. It's just to appeal to who it appeals to. I'm bringing this to an end. I didn't expect to spend so long, but get started with your journey. And don't forget to subscribe to Vibe Code Wikis. I wanted to stream on there, but it was not possible. I think that's why the mic was not working, earlier on, because I don't know why it's like limited to be able to stream on Vibe Code Wiki, but that's the channel for vibe coding. But I'm also going to put vibe coding content on this channel for building Web3 related applications. So maybe next video I'll show some of the Web3 related applications. So Vibe Code Wiki, do well to subscribe. If you have questions, you can reach me on for that is related to vibe coding x.com/vibecodewiki. I'm breathing like Vibe Code Wiki. Yes, you can follow me here and you can also message me there. Then all the resources that were featured in this video, I'm going to have an article for it. Maybe after this video, I think it will be complete. Wow, where is it? I'll put it, it's in this description already. After this video is going to be complete, I would fill up all the other tools and describe them. So video automation, all that, and that's that. So let's end this. Just a moment. Okay, let's end this stream now. Thank you everyone for joining. The video is on Web3 Wiki's channel, so you can watch it. Bye-bye.